It's the Tom Osborne Show, your best source for Nebraska football coverage.
Depression is a serious and disabling mental illness. Its victims feel hopeless and isolated. They no longer connect with the world around them. They are overcome with helplessness.
There's no energy.
Thoughts of suicide may occur.
Better off without me.
Yet depression is the most treatable of all mental illnesses. With psychiatric help, most victims find relief within a brief period of time. For immediate help, call St. Joseph's Center for Mental Health.
NTV, 40 years of serving you.
College Football Today is a special presentation of ABC Sports. ABC Sports presents College Football Today. For the College Football Association, it's a Big 8 matchup, and a big one it is. The unbeaten Nebraska Cornhuskers are here to take on the unbeaten Kansas State Wildcats. Some say it's the biggest game in K-State history. Certainly, it's one of the biggest in the last 25 years. Both teams are unbeaten, so not only implications in the Big 8, but in the national polls as well. Nebraska will try to maintain its dominance. KSU trying to put an exclamation point on its turnaround.
Bob and Judith Akers looked forward to the day they could retire to a little business by the sea. No easy project to take on alone. Fortunately, a Dean Whittaker was there to help them chart the proper course.
Each individual's dream is unique. So too must be our solutions.
Now the Akers not only have a place they can call home, others can too.
Back at 10.
We'll leave the light on.
At Dean Whittaker,
We measure success one investor at a time.
It was the best first date I ever had. She was crazy about me.
I couldn't stand him. All he talked about was himself.
I can be a good listener.
He never shut up.
It's funny how two people can look at the same thing differently. I just hoped you didn't think it was too, serious.
Well, he did have a good sense of humor.
To some, this is a great tasting imported beer. To others, it's a great tasting light beer. Either way, it's Amstel Light.
What's the difference? I looked horrible anyway.
Life is a knockout.
1847, an invention from Siemens makes it possible for written words to be electrically transmitted over vast distances. That was then. This is now. Today, the ingenuity of Siemens people is breaking new ground in communications and in medicine, in transportation, in energy, and automation. At 60 manufacturing sites in America, Siemens' inventiveness continues to open doors to the future. Siemens, precision thinking.
Tonight, Bob Saget's in a world television premiere as a dad who's dragged on a father-son camping trip. It couldn't be funnier. The ABC family movie, Father and Scout, a movie the whole family will love tonight.
What do you really know about Jan Stoney's record? Like, why did she take $100,000 to sit on a corporate board that moved American jobs to Mexico? Or why does Mrs. Stoney oppose emergency medical leave for working families with a sick child or parent? And was it fair for Jan Stoney to make millions as a phone company executive when she eliminated 1,000 Nebraska jobs? Makes you wonder, who will she put first?
Hey, hunters, the first thing you have to bag before you hit the field is the big green California burrito. A burrito with an attitude. You've got to try it. A half-pound meal that fits in your hand. Now in Pump and Pantry for $1.59. Plus, get all the ammunition you're going to need. Choose from Winchester, Remington, Federal, and Active ammunition. All at Pump and Pantry.
Get on the go from the one you know.
When you've got to cut something real tough, what do you use?
For thick weeds, I use this.
For a steak that's not from Nebraska, I use this.
This baby will cut anything.
But this is what Ben Nelson used to cut nearly $100 million out of Nebraska's budget in 1992 and say no to higher taxes. Governor Ben Nelson. Moving Nebraska forward and holding the line on spending.
You're watching the Nebraska Television Network.
Welcome back to Manhattan, Kansas,
where the rain has not dampened the enthusiasm one bit. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Zabriskie along with John Spagnola. Gary Reasons is on the sidelines with us as well. And, John, this game can be summed up, I think, not in 2 words, but in 2 letters, QB.
That's exactly right. How bizarre is it when you lose your top 2 quarterbacks to injuries not related to football, but that's what's happened at Nebraska. Tommy Frazier's out for the season with a blood clot. Brook Berringer has battled a partially collapsed left lung. He should see some action today, and that means Matt Turman, who's just a walk-on, will get his first career start. He was very effective last week against Oklahoma State. That's a whole different story here at Kansas State, where Chad May, who's a potential first-round draft choice, is going to direct this attack. He has a strong arm, and if he gets time today, he could shred this Cornhusker defense.
Well, this is not the only big game we have for you. Coming up after this one, a doubleheader with Penn State, Michigan. Kickoff in just a minute.
Looking good. Facing with your car is a great idea.
Yeah, especially when it's my new Grand Am.
Well, you couldn't take my car. It doesn't have analog brakes or an airbag.
450 horsepower. Your car couldn't keep up with me.
Man, this engine is really smooth.
What?
I said you're really starting to move.
Hey, where are you?
PageNet reminds you, life is a contact sport.
Has the plumber called back yet? Want to get that?
No, and it's a whole lot easier if you stay in contact.
Can you get that? Double cheese, extra pepperoni. Will somebody please get that?
Who knows more about staying in contact than PageNet, America's #1 wireless messaging company? Nobody gives you better coverage coast to coast.
Control is everything. Once you got it, everything else just falls in place.
Pert Plus, one smart shampoo, control-enhancing conditioners. It just works. My hair does what I want. That's enough for me.
How much closer are our precision heads? Our innovative lift and cut system? How much better is the latest Norelco? In a word, we've never brought you closer. The Norelco Razor, our closest shave ever.
My mission was to clean the garage. I had to go in quietly, not because of the enemy, but because my family just couldn't stand the noise. So I armed myself with the new quiet superpower from ShopVac. It's the quietest shop vac yet. Nails, wood chips, glass, water. ShopVac's power wiped them out. Mission complete. I'm prepared for my next assignment. Diaper change.
Be as quiet as you can be with ShopVac's QSP.
Moments away from the kickoff here in Manhattan between the unbeaten Cornhuskers and the unbeaten Wildcats. Certainly there's been a huge resurgence in football here. Let's get a report before the kickoff from Gary Reasons on the sideline. Gary.
Steve, the weather is pretty bad here today. It's been raining all morning. 50% chance of rain the remainder of the day. The field is slick. I think it's going to favor the Cornhusker running offense. Chad May of the Kansas State Wildcats going to have trouble holding on to the football and passing downfield. The wind is coming left to right across the field. It's going to be an interesting contest. Steve?
Well, I hope you stay dry down there, pal. Tom Osborne done a marvelous job since 1973 at the helm of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, taking over the legacy that Bob Devaney started, of course. And a guy who's building a legacy of his own. Bill Snyder, Coach of the Year of the 90s, practically, certainly in the Big 8. What a turnaround he has masterminded here at K-State. We'll give you some of the statistics of that as we go along. Scott Collins, number 15, will do the kicking off for Kansas State. The Wildcats actually won the toss, but they have elected to defer to the second half. Collins is a redshirt freshman out of Kansas City. And we have Damon Benning, number 21, and 26, Clinton Childs, two of the tailbacks in that Nebraska stable, back around the goal line. Childs, about 2 yards deep, he'll take it out. Tripped up as he crosses the 15 and falls on the 20. Well, here's the guy that everybody has been talking about, Matt Turman, a walk-on, now a sophomore. Hasn't played much, and those numbers certainly show from a career standpoint, but he can do some things. He's got some good, quick feet, and of course, Nebraska's going to do pretty much their offense no matter who's at quarterback.
He knows how to run this option attack. I think he's a very talented young man with very quick feet.
First and 10 from the 20. Lawrence Phillips, the I-back. Banging forward for maybe 5. Stopped by 92, Tim Colston.
Lawrence Phillips, who is only the second Cornhusker running back to gain over 1,000 yards in 6 games, leads this attack. And you've got the best run-blocking tandem in all of college football, Brendan Stein, Zach Weger. They are huge, averaging over 300 pounds across the board.
And a penalty on the first play. Phillips carry illegal procedure against Nebraska. Our referee, Terry Turlington. So they move it back to the 15. First down, 15. Lawrence Phillips again, picking his way for about 3. It's all made in the hole by 93. Daryl Halbert and number 28, Steve Hanks, the strong safety, came up to support.
And this defensive front's got to be active all day. You have 2 Big 8 second teamers, Tim Colston and Daryl Halbert. But watch Purcell Gaskins, a very athletic outside linebacker, will be all over the field. And this secondary must be able to force the run as well, as they're going to be pressured all afternoon and have to come up quickly and make tackles against this rushing attack for Nebraska.
2nd and 11, Lawrence Phillips on the sweep. He had Wiegert out there, but another fine play by Tim Colston, number 92. Chuck Marlowe, the free safety, 21, also up there supporting well.
Back-to-back now, you see Steve Hanks and Chuck Marlowe make tackles, and that means this secondary is forcing so far in this football game as they put Nebraska into a 3rd and long situation, exactly what the Kansas State team wants.
So it is 3rd and 11. Reggie Ball and Abdul Muhammad are in at wide receivers, split far to the left. And he swings it to Lawrence Phillips. Cutting back, and Phillips with a first down, and for 32, and again, Tim Colston, 92, made the tackle. Big play for the young quarterback, a gain of 14.
Well, it's a safe pass for Turman and be asked to throw because not a whole lot to it, but watch the ability of these 2 offensive linemen, Brandon Stein and Zach Weger, get out there and throw the blocks for Lawrence Phillips. They are running, very active guys, and they can move as well as a running back. I'm amazed at the mobility of these guys for such big people.
From the 33 on first down, Phillips nowhere to run. Met in the hole by Dirk Oaks, number 94. Got some help from Laird Beach, number 54, also.
You know, now, we look at the Nebraska attack. It's the number 1 rushing offense in the country by far, by over 100 yards. Wisconsin number 2. And see how they match up defensively with Kansas State, who is tough against the rush. And that's where this whole game, at least on this side of the football, is going to shape up today. How well can Kansas State stop this rushing attack for the Cornhuskers?
Phillips again. And again, just about a 3-yard gain. Daryl Halbert, number 93. The senior from Dallas made the tackle. Halbert, 6'1", 280. It'll be 3rd and 5. Unbelievable average of 7.7 per carry. Phillips is not leading the nation in rushing because in college they do it on a per-game basis. And Napoleon Kaufman and others have played one fewer game than has Phillips. But he leads in total yardage with over 1,000. Turman on the option cuts it up. And another good play by Colston, who trips him up from behind, short of the first down.
What about these defensive tackles for Kansas State as they can run, and Colston was able to run down Turman, who turned it upfield, and it looked like he was going to get the first down. You know, he's got a lot quicker feet than Berringer, and I think he's a lot more capable of running this option attack. And Berringer is a stronger thrower. We should see Berringer this afternoon, but this is a good defensive stand by Kansas State as they wanted to get the ball into Turman's hands early and see what he can do offensively against the wind. So they hold.
Darren Erstad comes on the punt. Turman was hoping that Osborne would let him go for it on 4th down. Mitch Running, number 89, is back for Kansas State as usual. He calls for the fair catch and makes it at about the 17. A 41-yard punt with no return. We have 11:09 to go in the first quarter, no score, and Kansas State will have the ball. Chad May will have the offense when we come back.
So have you made any decisions yet?
I'm thinking about taking the job over Meyer and Holt.
Really?
Yeah, it's a lot less than I was making, but there really isn't much out there.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
You remember, like 7, 8 years ago, we talked to Craig Miller over at Payne Weber, and he thought there were some things we should do to make sure that we're covered. Jack's college, paying off the house, so things are going to be okay.
Lucky he knew what we needed.
He knew because he asked.
At BASF, we don't make the mattress, we make it softer. We don't make the boots, we make them drier. We don't make the house, we make it livelier. We don't make the snowboard, we make it stronger. At BASF, we don't make a lot of the products you buy, we make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF.
What am I doing here with you?
You're my brother. It's your genetic obligation to help me.
Right. So, the Grand Dam has a 150 horsepower engine, standard.
Oh, it is a blast to drive. The balance shaft makes it smooth as silk.
Standard airbag and anti-lock brakes. Exactly.
You know the Grand Dam costs thousands less than the Accord or the Camry?
Really?
Yep, I researched it.
Well, you've made a smart choice.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what am I doing here?
You're helping me pick out a color.
Color. Yeah.
It's a key Big Ten battle when Penn State invades Michigan for a conference showdown with the Wolverines. It's part of a special doubleheader next on ABC's College Football.
That'll be game 2 of our doubleheader, but game 1 ain't too shabby itself. Kansas State with the hometown screaming and going on offense for the first time at their own 17. No score in the first quarter. J.J. Smith tried to cut it back and got maybe a yard to the 18 before he was pushed back. 84, Dante Jones and Doug Coleman, 46 on the stop. And last year against Nebraska, what a day for Chad May.
489 yards. You know, if he gets protection today, he could duplicate those numbers. He is an outstanding quarterback. Total understanding of his offense, too. That's what makes him so good, and he's very competitive. And this is a guy that wants to win this football game very badly today.
Nebraska won that game despite Chad May's performance. Kansas State hasn't beaten Nebraska in a long time. J.J. Smith again. J.J. for another yard to about the 19 is all.
Well, J.J. Smith has carried the ball twice today. He's a leading ball carrier on this football team. Very versatile. He's second in receiving. Tyson Schwiger is number 1 in the Big 8 in receptions this year. Again, protection's important. Barrett Brooks and Jim Hibalewski, these guys have got to protect. Again, you have a big offensive line averaging around 300 pounds. But the onus is on this offensive line to protect Chad May. If they can do that, he should be successful running this offense, and I'm sure he's going to throw right here. So we'll see what kind of protection he gets.
Nebraska linebacker Dante Jones, number 84, was shaken up and is off the field on 3rd and 8. May gets the pressure and goes down. Big sack by Grant Wistrom, number 98. Wistrom, a redshirt freshman. Actually, he is a true freshman.
That's right. Wistrom came through on the backside of Chad May. Blocked up against the tight end, number 80, Brian Moika. And he just battles through that block and gets to Chad May as Chad May's attention is totally on the right side of the football field.
So Kansas State will have to punt. Eric Hardy standing in his own end zone, kicks it right from the goal line. Kareem Moss, number 29, the guy they want to get it to, but it goes to Tyrone Williams. Nebraska's going to have outstanding field position, just a 31-yard punt. Will be better.
It's twilight. Sunroof's open. We're cruising down the coast highway in my new Bonneville. Yeah, I'm in an evening dress. He looks great. Soft music on the CD. He leans over and says, "This is nice. Dual airbags, traction control, over 200 horsepower. He even moves almost 15 grand less than a BMW or Lexus. So it was love at first sight. You could say that.
This is one long game. We even ran out of food. The fans must be hungry.
I'll tell you about hungry.
When it's gotta be good and it's gotta be now. Pick up the phone, we're gonna knock you out.
Call for a large 2-topping crunchy thin crust pizza and get a medium 1-topping pizza free. Did you see that?
You need two hands to count all the special rates and discounts on Allstate car insurance. For more than one car, cars with anti-lock brakes, airbags, good drivers, excellent drivers with Allstate home insurance, and retired drivers over 55. Pick up a phone and call an Allstate agent for details. Or lots of ways to save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
CFA College Football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We are driving excitement. PageNet, America's #1 wireless messaging company. The makers of Advil in tablets and caplets. And Magnavox. Hey, we make technology people want. Magnavox. Smart. Very smart. Nebraska with a great opportunity here in the first quarter. They have a 1st and 10 just outside the 27 of Kansas State. No score. Lawrence Phillips running hard down to about the 22 or 21. Purcell Gaskins, number 9, fine linebacker for the Wildcats, making the tackle.
Yeah, Phillips is only the 2nd rusher in Nebraska history to go over 1,000 yards in just 6 games. Bobby Reynolds was the other one. Of course, there's been a long line of 1,000-yard rushers here in Cornhusker history. 19 of them over the years have gone over 1,000 yards in the season.
Brendan Holbein split to the right on 2nd down. Phillips again has the 1st down inside the 15. In the grasp of Chris Canty, number 17, and 21, Chuck Marlowe, the free safety.
What's a bad sign when your free safety is forced to make a tackle right away? There was the burst right up the middle, and there was good blocking between the guard and center for Nebraska. What you do with Chuck Marlowe was the only thing left between Phillips and the end zone. Watch right in the middle, Stein, number 66, gets a good down block, and that's it. Phillips has the hole, and he gets right through it.
1st down near the 14, Lawrence Phillips again. He dives inside the 10 to about the 7. Tim Colston, 92, and 47, Darren Holmes, the linebacker, make the stop. A big gain on 1st down. Phillips has carried 7 times already. He's picked up 30 yards so far. You see the ball resting at about the 7.5. Mark Gilman, number 87, in at tight end for Nebraska. Holbein again split to the right. Phillips again. Inside the 5, to about the 4.5. Marlowe, 21, and Colston, 92, again make the tackle.
On the stop, number 21, Chuck Marlowe. Number 92, Tim Colston.
Right now, Nebraska's doing exactly what it wanted to offensively. They enjoyed good field position. After the change of possessions, they certainly won that field position battle. And they've got to be very pleased with the fact that they can run the football as effectively as they had hoped to coming into this football game with Matt Turman, the quarterback, who is executing this offense very well so far in this football game.
Now they put Cluster Johnson in the power I along with Corey Schlesinger, the fullback. Phillips to about the 3, and that's it. Colston hit him first, and he tried to spin off, but Marlowe and others were there. It's short. Well, it's going to be awful close, depending on the spot, to the 1st down marker. It may even be close enough for them to measure. Well, it is a 1st down. So 1st and goal from the 3. Now one of the wingbacks, John Fetwell, is in the backfield. Phillips again, touchdown. Nebraska just kept hammering and took advantage of the good field position to drive it right in the end zone for the first score of the day.
And they went behind that right side combination, Brandon Stye and Zach Weger. Look at them just power right through there. And you mentioned John Medrow stepped into the game. He threw a good block too. And nobody. Watch this right side. Watch how effectively they move people. And of course, Ventrell and Corey Schlesinger, number 40, jumped in there too, made a good block. And the tight end block down, and that was well-executed play.
Darren Erstad, the extra point is good. Nebraska, 7-0 with 6:12 to play in the first.
Important news was recently announced at a national sports medicine conference. A new study shows that for the sore muscles that occur the day after a strenuous workout, Advil provides superior relief to extra-strength Tylenol. It's strong and fast. If you exercise regularly, you should know that more doctors recommend Advil than any other pain reliever for all types of muscle aches. For next-day soreness, Advil just works better than Tylenol. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer battery. It keeps going and going and going. Pull over.
A new Firebird. At a price like this, it's the car of your dreams.
Back in 1968, when Nebraska and Kansas State met, it was an overcast day, just about 35 degrees that November night. That was the time that Kansas State last defeated Nebraska. Number 11 in white, Len Dickey, threw the only touchdown pass of the game to Matt Herron, and Kansas State beat Nebraska 12-0. Right now, Nebraska leads 7-0 as Darren Erstad gets ready to kick off. Ron Brown, number 3, is back along with Mike Lawrence, 23. And Mike Lawrence is going to pick it up at about the 7. Got through a little opening and got about 5 more. Now across the 30. Tackled by Monty Spiller, number 41. For Phil Ellis. Kansas State cannot have Nebraska going just 28 yards for a drive.
No, I mean, it started out where Nebraska moved the football gate back, and Kansas State got the ball in poor field position, a bad punt, a decent return. Nebraska only had to go 28 yards in 6 plays. But, you know, this shouldn't affect Kansas State too much. I mean, certainly they are capable of moving the football and coming from behind in the football game.
Chad May on first down, completing it to his favorite receiver, Tyson Schweiger. Aaron Miles wraps him up. And let's get an update from the studio and John Saunders.
Steve, Auburn against Florida. Florida, the number 1 team in the nation, had yet to trail in a game this year. But take a look at Patrick Nix. A perfect pass to Thomas Bailey. Little play action there, and between defenders, he comes down with it. They've added a field goal. It's now 10-0 Auburn. Meantime, a reminder, later today, Penn State against Michigan. That's 3:30 Eastern time. Back to Steve.
Thank you, John. Right here at second and short, second and about 5. Again intended for Schweiger.
And, of course, if Florida is knocked off today by Auburn, which would be an incredible upset, Nebraska, if winning today, would be the number 1 team in the nation. A lot of football to be played before those 2 scenarios unwind, however.
3rd down and 7. shotgun. Stewart with pressure on May, and May gets it away to Ron Brown. What a catch by Brown as Troy Dumas, number 4, had the coverage, and Chad May bought himself enough time to make a big play. Gain of 22.
One thing about May, last week he was able to tear up Kansas because they didn't put any pressure on him. Nebraska saw that tape, and they know they have to get after him, but he's able to escape to his right, throw a dangerous pass, but with his arm strength, he has the confidence to throw that kind of football, and he gets it to Ron Brown for a much-needed first down for his Wildcat football team.
They have it at the Nebraska 44. Number 89, Mitch Running. Tyrone Williams with the coverage.
And this defense has played so well so far in this football game. Ed Stewart is a Butkus Award candidate. Very active, fast defense. And they're going to be tested a lot today, as is the secondary, because Chad May does get time. You saw what he can do when he's got some time to throw the football. These defensive backs are going to be under a lot of pressure all afternoon.
Penalty on the play. Referee Terry Turlington sorting it out. And it's against Kansas State. Holding on the offense, and we're going to go all the way back because it happened behind the line of scrimmage to the Kansas State 38. First down in about a quarter mile.
We see Chad May for the second play in a row now is in the shotgun. And there are no backs in the backfield, so we'll see if Nebraska wants to exert pressure against this front because there's nobody to protect the extra man coming.
May chased out of there again, gets it away incomplete. Intended for Tyson Schweiger. He was out of bounds and well covered. Christian Peter, number 55, was putting some pressure on him, along with Doug Coleman, 46. So it'll be second down and 28 yards to go.
And that's exactly what Nebraska did. They did bring pressure up front. That was Doug Coleman, number 46. They also had pressure on the outside, as you don't see from Troy Dumas. And again, Chad May is forced to run to his right. And I can see Nebraska seeing a pattern there, trying to prevent him from escaping the rush to his right. Most right-handed quarterbacks obviously feel a lot more comfortable going in that direction.
5 wide receivers. He throws underneath to Schweiger. Schweiger to about the 46. Knocked down there by Dante Jones, number 84. That'll be third and long.
You see, again, it's an interesting matchup today. Kansas State averages 241 yards passing. They're not going to run the football effectively. The Nebraska defense averages 74 yards against them rushing. That's first in the Big 8 and 7th in the country. So if Kansas State wants to move the football today, they have to do it throwing the football. The coaches told us they're looking for about a 60-40 mix of pass and run in today's ballgame.
It is third and 20. And again, 5 wideouts. May finally gets it to J.J. Smith, and J.J. will be 11 yards short of the first down as he has it at the Nebraska 45. Troy Dumas, number 4, senior from Cheyenne, Wyoming, on the tackle.
Again, Nebraska's able to hold, but at least Kansas State defensively is going to enjoy some pretty good field position after this punt. And they'll force Nebraska to drive a lot more than 28 yards. They want to try and score a touchdown here.
Scott Collins trying to pooch it out of bounds. It's it very high. Tyrone Williams let it roll. It's at the goal line. It's into the end zone.
There's a penalty because the Kansas State coverage team didn't allow Tyrone Williams to make a play on the football. They have to give him room to make a play on the football.
You got the 2-yard rule in effect. It was a 45-yard punt as it rolled into the end zone.
He's walking a long way.
Well,
5-yard penalty, spot of the foul. First down.
There it is. You see the kick to right. Tyrone Williams, number 8, calls for a fair catch, but there's not enough room near him. And they called that flag penalty against Kansas State as a 5-yard penalty from the point of infraction.
That moves the ball back to the 20. First and 10, Nebraska leading 7-0 late in the first quarter. Lawrence Phillips trying to get outside. Does well to get a couple of yards. There's a lot of purple shirts over there, led by 17, Chris Canty. Well, Florida has scored, and Auburn still leads by 3 in the first quarter of that big one down in Gainesville. And we'll keep you up to date, of course, on everything that is happening, has happened, and will happen in college football today. A lot of it is still going to happen with the time of day of the start here.
Well, I heard the PA announcer here say, "Good morning, everybody."
That's right.
And he started the broadcast up from the field out here. We have an injured player on the field.
Number 93, Darrell Harbert, Kansas State's defensive tackle, down, being attended to.
We saw John Saunders, and he told us about Patrick Nix, who threw that touchdown to Thomas Bailey. I think that's a bit of surprise because Auburn could not throw the football that well going into the season, but they opened it up last week against Mississippi State, and they're going to give Florida a run for their money here today. Now Harbert looks like he's okay as he saunters off the football field.
Phillips gained 2 yards on the play. And boy, they are packed in here at KSU Stadium and Wagner Field. The field is a field of play, the rug itself, donated by John and Wagner. Turman running the option, pitching to Phillips. Well, defense by number 54, Laird Beach. Outstanding defense by Kansas State. Let's again get an update from John Saunders.
Steve, you mentioned that Florida was on the board. Here's how it happened. On first down, the 42, Terry Dean airs it out. And Jack Jackson fools everyone. Good foot speed behind the defenders into the end zone for the touchdown. 10-7 now. The Gators are back into it.
Thank you, John. That's a big play and something that the Gators do quite well, actually.
People like watching a tennis match there today. All the scoring is going on so far.
Phillips lost 4. It's third down 12. He has the swing pass, but again, excellent job by the Kansas State defense. Chuck Marlowe, the free safety, 21, came up quickly, and then Niall Wyra, number 44, finished him off.
That's right. Marlowe saw that play recall. Of course, the last third and long situation the Cornhuskers had. That's the exact same play they ran. So they're not taking too many chances here with Turman early in this football game and a 7-0 lead. Again, the swing pass, getting alignment out in front as they block and then release. You see big 66, Brandon Stein. But this time Marlowe gets right in, and Niall Wyra at 44 finishes him off. So the Wildcats recognize that play well.
Darren Erstad kicking to Mitch Running. Running takes it at the 39. Good move. Inside the 30, the ball comes out, but he's going to be ruled down. However, we have a penalty flag back at the Kansas State 47. Darren Erstad, the kicker, made the tackle after his 43-yard punt. But there is a flag down back at the 47 of Kansas State. Illegal block in the back. And I'm telling you, you see it more than 50% of the time on kicking plays. This penalty is now called.
And watch you see Mike Eckler, 29, pushes in the back. No, actually, the call is on 43. That's exactly right, 43. Deshaun Vogel. And you know what? There was a little nudge in the back, but you've got to, other than intent, you've got to look as an official and say, how much did it really affect this football play? But obviously, they felt that Deshaun Vogel's block in the back was serious enough to prevent the defender from cutting over and making a tackle on the return.
Well, wipes out a 34-yard punt return by Mitch Running. And it moves the ball back inside the 40.
Watch 43, Deshaun Flugel right there. That's it. The referee looked at him, that little nudge in the back, and they will call that. The referee was hesitant to bring the flag out, but he finally did. And penalties have now hurt Kansas State in this football game. They've had 3 different penalties so far that really hurt the field position of this offense.
On first down, they go with the 5 wideouts. And May from the shotgun from his own 37. Complete to J.J. Smith. J.J. wrestled out of bounds by Tyrone Williams. But he's very close to a first down. Hey, tonight, Bob Saget stars in the ABC Family movie Father and Scout. All those memories will come flooding back. And then Michael Chilka stars as the commish. All tonight here on ABC.
Again, from the shotgun, Kansas State. What I like about this is they're not asking May to hold the football very long. He's getting the ball. He's got 5 wide receivers out there, but he's getting rid of it in 2 seconds or so. Quick drop, and he's getting rid of it for some intermediate and short type passes. And I think this is the way to try to exploit this Nebraska defense now.
Second down, just a yard to go, and May gets behind his line and powers forward near midfield for the first down. Jason Pesterfield among those in there. A lot of action later, and the seeping as well around the country. Another one, big one in the Big 8, Oklahoma, Colorado. And later in the game, we'll be able to update you on some of those games that will then be underway. Of course, we'll do that all afternoon. First and 10, right at the 50. Kevin Lockett with a leaping grab at the 30 of Nebraska. Kareem Moss, number 29, the strong safety, had the coverage, but a good throw by May and a fine catch by Lockett.
Watch Kareem Moss, number 29. He's going to break on this pattern. There's not many quarterbacks who can get this ball in that tight an area as Chad May did to Kevin Lockett. I mean, he has such confidence in his arm that he threw that football where in most cases it would be picked off, but he was able to drill it in there. This is the confidence he has, and this is why pro scouts like it. I mean, he runs a wide-open offense. A lot of pros run this type of offense with a horizontal stretch. You can see by alignment how spread out this offense is. It makes Nebraska defend the whole field.
Nebraska with the blitz, bringing some folks. He had a little screen set up to J.J. Smith, so May purposely threw it into the ground. Jason Pesterfield was in his face quite quickly. May so far 6 of 9 passing for 72 yards.
So I think he saw his arm strength on the previous play, and he see a wise decision here, and this is why he hasn't thrown an interception in an awfully long time.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter. 7-0, Nebraska leading this battle of Big 8 unbeatens.
Ever wondered how remotes get lost? Well, no matter how your remote gets lost, Magnavox makes the only television that can find it. With the exclusive remote locator, you just push a button, and your remote beeps, telling you where it is. Hey, we make technology people want. Magnavox. Smart. Very smart.
You never know how outside forces can affect your long-distance calling. But you don't have to worry. We've got AT&T, the most reliable long-distance network. No other long-distance company guarantees your service will be back in minutes, not hours. Only AT&T guarantees it. After all, it's your business that's on the line. Well, AT&T, for the life of your business.
Wayne Winfield and Ron Williams were 2 of the most heavily recruited high school kids in the country. Of course, it wasn't for their game. It was for their minds. And thanks to the Navy College Fund and the Montgomery GI Bill, they had a chance to really use them because they could earn up to $30,000 for college. So, even if the BA isn't in their future,
I guess that's gay.
the BA is. For more information, call 1-800-USA-NAVY.
It still bugs me that I waited to try Old Spice High Endurance just because I thought all deodorants worked the same.
Dumb. This proves it's the best. Better than leading stick. It evaporates less quickly. It also lasts longer. Protects better. You can't ignore that. Or this guarantee. Try it. If you don't think it's the best, call 1-800-PROVE-IT, and they'll buy you a stick of yours. You gotta figure anyone that's serious about deodorant deserves a serious shot. Come on, take the high endurance challenge from Old Spice. I did.
Craig T. Nelson of Coach and All-America Trev Alberts discuss athletics and academics.
Trev, you were an All-American academically and athletically. How'd you handle both?
You'd be surprised how much I learned from playing college football about managing time and fighting adversity to help my game and my studies. A group of diverse individuals who learn how to win, solve problems, and communicate.
College football teaches lessons we can all use.
Saluting an American tradition. 125 years of college football.
Quarterbacks are the story here. They're going to be the story on Monday night. Will Joe Montana play for the Chiefs against the Broncos? Of course, they got John Elway in Denver. Monday Night Football, 8 o'clock Central, right here on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. Chiefs and the Broncos. Starting the second quarter, Steve Zabriskie, John Spagnola, and Gary Reasons with you from Manhattan, Kansas. It is 2nd and 10. Kansas State just inside the Nebraska 30. Nebraska leading 7-0. May firing, completing to J.J. Smith. But we have a legal procedure called just prior to the pass being made. I think they're going to just forget that play and move Kansas State back 5.
Yeah, there was confusion about the alignment. Mitch Running was out and split out, and then he came back in to line up just as a tight end position off the line of scrimmage, though. And I think they may not have enough people on the line of scrimmage in that formation.
Tell you what, it takes them a long time on an illegal procedure call to figure out what they're going to say here.
Dead ball foul. Offside on the defense.
Oh, geez.
Offside on the offense.
So there were 2 penalties on the play. I only saw 1 flag, but they called offsetting penalties. Illegal procedure and offsides on the defense.
You can see the offsides just on the right side as the Nebraska defender flinches. That's number 93, Jared Domick, who flinches. And then there was some movement as well by Mitch Running. So they just called a dead ball foul and start all over here. But it takes a long time to get things back. 2nd down and 10.
And they're having to reset the clock. That's part of the problem. Back to 15 minutes even, because no time should have run off the clock since they tried to stop it before the snap. 2nd down 10 again. May moves J.J. Smith into a wing from the slot. That's the time. Wide open, touchdown, Mitch Running. There was the quintessential execution of the post pattern.
It was more like a seam pattern, Steve. Mitch Running went down the left side. There's arches on the football field. Watch him on the right side. Talking about horizontal stretch. This is vertical stretch where you just send everybody down. And that pass is beautifully thrown by Chad May. But by alignment, nobody in the backfield. And Nebraska's defense was completely stretched out. And then they just all run down the field and wait for a bust in the coverage. And that's what happened for Nebraska. So you got a touchdown here by the Wildcats.
Martin Gramatica on for the extra point. Matt Miller is the holder. And it is blocked. Nebraska does this very well, and they have done it again. The extra point is blocked after Running's 29-yard touchdown reception. Mitch Running has now caught a pass in 17 straight games. This one's a big one. What a catch.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose. My steps were quick and light.
These are the men and women who make Chevy trucks.
What I felt was right. Like a
Considering the quality of our people, it's no wonder they build the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Financial concerns, medical problems, anxiety about the future. 50 million Americans turn for help to one particular company. A company whose sole purpose has always been to bring them to a different state of mind. Peace of mind, security, protection, optimism. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
It's a land like no other, with a beer like no other. Wolves and ice brewed by North America's oldest brewery to be bolder and bolder. It's smooth as ice. Wolves and ice, from the land where ice was born.
The Chiefs and the Broncos have mile-high fight. We're gonna rock the Rockies here on Monday night.
Matt Miller, the holder, gets a snap. Watch how he bumbles it on his knee. That bobble caused the timing to break down for Gramatica, and by that time, the Nebraska front had blocked that extra point, and I think it hit about 3 or 4 players in the helmet. I don't know how many guys got their hands on that thing. It kick did not go very high in the air.
Well, everybody's got to do it. The snap, the hold, and everything's got to be good for any kid to be successful. Scott Collins, redshirt freshman out of Kansas City, to kick it off. Clinton Childs, number 26, and Damon Benning, number 21, back to receive it. And Childs from the 14. Good hole, and up across the 30 to the 31. Dragged down there by Matt McEwen, number 34, defensive end. It only took him 5 plays to go 62 yards in just a minute 7. Just the opposite, really, of Nebraska's drive, which was all Lawrence Phillips running the football.
That's what's so much fun about this game, because it is such a contrast in styles, and it's the style and the execution that is going to determine the eventual winner of this football game.
Matt Turman back in at quarterback. Lawrence Phillips with a big hole. Good reaction by the free safety Chuck Marlowe. It might have been a much bigger gain for Phillips, who busted it up in there quite quickly. Lawrence Phillips, just a sophomore. He's out of West Covina, California, in Los Angeles. 6 feet, 200 pounds, and he is carrying the bulk of this offense.
And Stevie, when you have a hole like this, you have that kind of lead blocking from your fullback Schlesinger, number 40. I mean, that is just a wonderful area to exploit. And you've seen Nebraska go to it on the touchdown and go to it here in their first possession here, or the first play, I should say.
On 2nd and 1, Phillips is close. Thrown back after being grabbed around the feet by Tim Colston. And then Deshaun Hope, number 43, got in there. Penn State, Michigan. 2 top 5s coming at you next, second game of our doubleheader. As soon as we're through here in Manhattan, we go up to the big house.
Kerry Collins is leading the nation in passing efficiency. Who would ever expect that from a Penn State quarterback?
They can also move that ball pretty well on the ground. But how about those running backs? Tyrone Wheatley and Kajana Carter have been there in that game. A little bit short, about a foot short of the first down. So it'll be a foot beyond the marker, I should say. It is a first down. It's at the 42. The Huskers marching again. Phillips, nowhere, may have even lost a yard. Kelly Green, number 91, Dirk Oaks, 94. Green is a senior from right here in Manhattan, and Lawrence Phillips will come out of the game.
Green is part of this tackle rotation. You can see number 91 standing up, his blocker coming off his block nicely. That's one of the keys to this game today. We talked to Jim Levitt, the defensive coordinator. He said we have to maintain gap responsibility up front, and we have to get our guys off of blocks. That time, Kelly Green did a great job of getting off his block.
Clinton Childs, 26 in it, the I-back. And Turman will throw it on 2nd and 11. It's complete to the tight end, Eric Olford. No, he did not hold on. He had it and could not maintain possession, and it'll be 3rd and 11.
Well, when you run for 400-some yards a game and you play action, it's usually pretty effective. Auburn came around and actually made the catch, and as he was trying to put it back in safely away, that's when the football came out, so it was a drop. And that's just as a receiver not concentrating on the ball all the way until it's safely in your stomach. He's the leading receiver in yardage for tight ends. He has 4 catches for 116 yards so far this year, so they like to go to him.
The fullback Corey Schlesinger on 3rd and 11 will gain just about 5 out to the 46 is all. Kirby Holcutt, number 45, the leading tackler, and now limping coming off the field, made the tackle. So it'll be 4th down as you again look at the schedule of games today. Mitch Running drops back to receive. And there's Running. Aaron Erstad, number 6, is on the punt. Erstad has the wind at his back. Now there's some pressure. He gets it away. No flag. Running at the 10. Hammered, and the ball comes out. They're going to say he was whistled dead, however, and they'll give him forward progress to the 14. A 44-yard punt. John Bickel, number 25, down there to make the hit and wrap up Running. 12:24 left to go in the second quarter. It is 7-6 Nebraska.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran tastes so good, people forget it's nutritious. Why do you eat it?
Nutrition.
Good. I'm a health nut. Wheat Bran, I love it. Wait a minute, is this true?
10% more raisins free.
Wow, more raisins. Free nut nutrition.
Free raisins.
That's not important.
Yes, it is. Now Kellogg's Raisin Bran has 10% more raisins, absolutely free.
Forget what it says behind my hand.
10% more raisins. Free!
Dean Witter believed in listening.
Listen, not only to what our clients say, but what they mean. Each client has a level of comfort. Endeavor to find it. We measure success one investor at a time.
Have you ever seen anything more amazing than Little Caesar's Pleasers?
No. It's the new Little Caesar's Pleasers menu. Choose any 2 for $9.98.
It's a pizza.
Or 1 for $5.99.
The new Chevy Blazer gives you this elegant interior, exceptional quiet, and 3 power ports to plug in electronic equipment.
Leave a message at the tone and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Isn't it nice to know all that's there, even if you're not?
Hey, we want to remind you that at the conclusion of today's game, we'll be selecting a genuine Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game from each team. For the 24th year, the Chevrolet Scholarship Program, $1,000 will be donated to the General Scholarship Fund at each school. Respected player. Well, the next time Chad May throws a pass, if it is not picked off, it'll be a new Big 8 record for a single season without an interception. But he hands it off to J.J. Smith, and J.J. is going nowhere. Nebraska with outstanding penetration. Phil Ellis, number 41, led the charge, and then the safety Eric Stokes, number 16, came up quickly.
And on this why Nebraska is so hard against the run. Troy Dumas actually overruns the play, number 4. I thought Smith had some room, but that inside pursuit from Phil Ellis and company just prevented him from breaking that outside, and he had to do all he could just to hold on to that football.
He lost a couple. Second down, and about 13 yards to go. They with time, looking for Kevin Lockett. Lockett at the 44.
I'll tell you, This kid is unbelievable.
Leslie Dennis, number 2, had him covered beautifully, but the ball was thrown perfectly.
The ball was thrown perfectly, and if it's not a difficult catch, Lockett's not going to catch it, it seems. He dropped a couple last week and made a beautiful one-handed catch. And look at that. I mean, the body control, knowing where the boundary is, keeping his feet down as he jumped in the air and catching that. I mean, that is beautiful execution by a wide receiver. Again, Lockett, is a spectacular receiver, but he's had some concentration problems. Has dropped some this year.
That was a 32-yard beauty, and it's first down Kansas State at their own 44. They are going with this spread formation on every play. Now movement, flags fly. Nebraska says they were pulled off. It may have been Chris Oltman's number 63 that moved. And now that was number 139, so that's a Big 8 single-season record for attempts without a pick.
He's got a ways to go to catch Mike Norseth over a couple of seasons. Has quite a few more pass attempts without an interception.
On the offense.
Norseth played at Kansas. But I'll tell you, this is a beautiful way. Here's Oltman jumping. See how he just flashed an anticipated movement. And that's called on the offense, even though he's in a 2-point stance.
That moves the ball back to the 39, where it is first and 15. Under pressure, incomplete. Intended for Mitch Running. But Nebraska really came up the middle strong. Had Stewart, number 32, blasting in there. Got to Chad May in a hurry.
Yeah, Christian Peter, 55, exerted some pressure too. So, again, but you see May, I mean, he just got rid of the football quickly. I don't think he wants to take any more sacks. With this spread-out offense, he can identify potential blitzers, and he knows where his blockers are up front. And when he feels the pressure, he's just going to squeeze that football, get it out of there as quickly as he can.
Second down, 15. Dumas trying to come on the blitz. Flags fly. The pass intended for Smith is out of bounds. Dumas was trying to time the snap for Nebraska. May have anticipated a tad too soon, which is more than a smidgen.
So they get their 5 yards back. A lot of activity on the right side of the street. There's Dumas, number 4, who gets a little anxious. That ball snapped. He doesn't get back in time in the neutral zone. So it's a tit for tat here as you have movement on the offense on one play and offsides on the defense. And we're back to 2nd and 10.
Who's just 5 back, 5 up. 2nd and 10, back at the 44. And Nebraska all over the place again. I think they made contact, but it might have been the time ran out on the play clock. As the play clock is down to 0.
Good ball, Bob. Offside.
No, it happened before time ran out.
Yeah, right on the right side there, Christian Peter, number 55, makes some contact as he jumps across into the neutral zone. So again, Chad May not only audibling, but varying that cadence and drawing Nebraska off the sides here on successive plays.
And Dante Jones was in the backfield on the far side. He did get back, but the contact is what the penalty was called. So it's 2nd and 5, now at the 49. And Chad May will try to run it up. He has the first down.
Thought he's being foolish there.
Yeah, he shook his tip down after he crossed the 40. Dante Jones and Ed Stewart finally get him down, but he gains 13 and a first down.
No time to be a hero here. Nebraska plays a lot of man-to-man defense. When May recognizes that everybody's covered, he also recognizes that nobody's covering him. Now here he's past the yard mark. You saw that. Get down. Protect yourself. You can't get hurt in this football game. This team needs you too badly for this game and the rest of the season. And I think this is where the adrenaline and the competitive spirit he has forced him to stay up when he probably should have used better judgment.
He did move the ball down to the Nebraska 38. Here it is 1st and 10. And now time is called. Timeout, Nebraska. As you see, just under 11 minutes to go in the first half, and a 1-point Nebraska lead.
Nothing is tougher on dirt. Than a 191 horsepower Chevy S-Series extended cab 4x4. Chevy trucks like a rock.
Richard Belial used to cut study hall every day to go back to Mr. Garber's math class. Last year, Matthew Garber became a teacher with the help of a scholarship from Hitachi and the College Football Association. And already, he's got quite a following. In last year's Copper Bowl, Kansas State University demonstrated the quality of its athletic program, and that success carries over to the classroom. In the last 10 years, K-State has ranked #1 among the nation's public universities in the number of Rhodes, Truman, Marshall, and Goldwater scholars. We offer quality programs and research opportunities, along with a faculty committed to teaching. At Kansas State, students can achieve their unique goals of all kinds.
It is jam-packed, SRO. They're all over the place. They added 3,000 folding chairs to that far end zone, you can see, and it still hasn't been enough. They're all over the banks, and if they could get in one of these buildings around here with binoculars, they might do that too. 1st and 10, Kansas State. Schlager hammered as the ball got there, and it's incomplete. Excellent play by Baron Miles. Number 14, timing it perfectly.
Aaron Miles is a great one-on-one cover guy. You know, last year, he played against J.J. Stokes, who was only 1 and 2 corners to keep him out of the end zone all year last year. Recognized the hitch pattern and came right in. And Chad May gets hit too by Stewart, but he lays off to not draw the penalty, and had he driven him into the ground, he would have got a flag.
I like that little extra shoulder, though.
Yeah.
I hit him, and then I hit him again.
Hey, there's some drawing going on down there. These guys want May to know they're going to be in his face every time he gets rid of that football.
I'll tell you what, we got 2 teams that are ready to play today. J.J. Smith spinning near the first down inside the 30. Safety Derek Stokes and Tyrone Williams, 16 and 8, make the stop.
Let's J.J. Smith spin out of the grass with 41. Phil Ellis with a great spin move right there. Ellis overcommits as he gets close to the first down marker. You know, this is the only play in quite some time that May was under center, and he had it back behind him. Nebraska's got to be alert for that. They've been in that 5 wide receiver set for most of the first quarter and part of the second quarter here.
3rd and 1, they have 5 wideouts, but May from center trying to sneak for the first down, and it's going to be very close.
And they've done this drill before too. That was the no backs quarterback sneak. It worked once before on the 3rd down conversion.
Terry Keneally, number 99, and Dante Jones, number 84, down on the bottom of the pile, and Auburn down. Auburn now's taking the lead. Chad May is very upset.
Yeah, he must have, you know, this might have been some pro wrestling. Oh, he got a face break.
A little tumbling going on.
Eye gouging going on in there. Yeah, well, everything but the foreign substance that's so prevalent in this business. Yeah, pulled it out of the old hip pad.
He's complaining. He got the first down, however, but he paid a bit of a price. People who haven't played the game don't know what goes on in those piles sometimes.
There it is. Christian Peter gets a hand on him. That's Stewart. Now 32 gets in there. Now you can see where his face, they're trying to strip the football and do whatever they can. But I think he got gouged in the right eye. And he comes off to the sideline. He's going to get checked out on the sideline.
And Kansas State is going to take a timeout here to do just that with 10:02 to go in the second quarter. Obviously, you can't have your quarterback's vision impaired. And it may be that as they're attending to him, he got scratched or cut. We'll find out. Gary Reasons is down on the sideline. We'll try to get a report. We'll be back.
Are you ready for some football? Monday Night Football. We got plays and now and then. We're gonna get it kick-started.
Then stay tuned for NTV News with Al Zobel and Pam Weiss, right here on the Nebraska Television Network, celebrating 40 years of service.
All right, friends, we're here for Monday night. Right.
In the area, not only the eye itself, which may have been poked, but around the eye. And now they're administering it drops, I think, to help clean up his vision a little bit.
Here's a tough kid. He's out of Upland, California. He was overlooked by a lot of colleges. When he came out of high school, then Cal State Fullerton closed down their college program, and he tried to get into UCLA. They weren't interested. And finally came here to Kansas State, but he's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder. I think that's why he's such a fiery competitor out there on the football field. And this is just going to get him going that much more.
1st and 10. The ball at the 28, and now there's movement along the line again, and flags fly. Ross Greenwood, number 79, one of the offensive guards for Kansas State, appeared to jump too soon.
I don't know. High up or not? High up?
On the right side, number 71 is Ross Greenwood. Big 8 academic. And 79, I'm sorry. But he just flinched again in his stance. And, there's been a lot of this going on in the interior line because May changes calls. Those linemen have to stay in a stance. They hear an audible, and they're like springs that are completely tightened up and ready to unwind themselves. And, we see it on both sides.
Yeah, when the defense moves, sometimes it's hard not for an offensive lineman to react in some way. So it's 1st and 15. May will go down at the 38. In the grasp of Christian Peter, number 55. Peter Jr. from Locust, New Jersey at 6'2" and 285.
And he's a great athlete. Got 36-inch vertical jump, but this is a covered sack. I mean, May steps up. He's got to get rid of the football. He has been able to in rhythm, but with the coverage of the Nebraska secondary, he has no place to go once he tries to bring the football down and run.
The ball back at the 38, so now it'll be second and about 20 yards to go. Shovel pass to J.J. Smith, and Nebraska all over it with Phil Ellis, number 41.
Well, Phil Ellis plays middle linebacker here with Nebraska. He splits time with Doug Coleman. He's a little quicker. You see 41 right there. Now, this is a play. Oh, you can see where the two cars collide with one another on the shovel pass and just completely blow. They're blocking assignments, and that allows Coleman to come through, or Ellis to come through and make the tackle.
It is a loss of 4, back to the 42. So it'll be 3rd and 24 for Kansas State.
Real mix up there. Greenwood pulled right, Coleman's pulled left. You got two guys canceling one another out. They're supposed to be your blockers. You're not going to get a lot of places to run.
You are by yourself. Play action, May under pressure, lost the football. Kansas State has recovered. It looked like Jason Johnson, number 64, the center, may have come up with the ball. There were 2 Nebraska players there as well.
Well, he's a former tight end, and that could be the best catch he's ever had in a Wildcat uniform. as pressure came from Terry Keneally, number 99. Grew up in a ranch playing 8-man football. He just burst through from the right side of that Nebraska front. Watch Keneally, 99. I mean, he just beats his blocker cleanly right there. Boom. And as the ball flies up in the air, it gets around, and you are right. It looked like Jason Johnson, 64, got on it.
Now a penalty flag is thrown. There's Keneally. Dwayne Harris, number 86 of Nebraska, had a chance to get the football, and Johnson beat him to it. But a flag was thrown after all of this was sorted out.
We may have an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Terry Turlington will tell us.
Oh, boy, what a break.
I mean, it was 4th down and a quarter mile. And the penalty will give Kansas State a first down.
That's uncharacteristic of a Tom Osborne coach team. But I believe that the Nebraska players were so adamant about the fact that they recovered the fumble, they got upset, probably said the wrong thing to the official. Again, Keneally comes through 99, forces the ball up in the air. Now you see 64 in purple. That's Johnson, the center. Now he's the first guy that has a shot, but it's around his legs. And as he works his way back into the football, an awful lot happens that I can't even begin to describe right here.
Dwayne Harris, like I said, was fighting him for the ball. But a break for Kansas State after Nebraska's defense had pushed them back. From the 33, 1st and 10, J.J. Smith. Inside the 25. Run down in the secondary by Baron Miles and Ed Stewart.
And good football teams take advantage of opportunities. And the Wildcat team here gets a break on the unsportsmanlike penalty, and they're able to move the football very well here on 1st down. Here's number 86, Dwayne Harris, as he overruns, over-pursues. You know, the Nebraska front, I think, is so geared towards stopping May, they're not even recognizing running plays. In a couple instances now, J.J. Smith has been able to burst through and get a 1st down, as he did here, rushing the football, which, you know, is not the strong suit here of Kansas State.
Kansas State, with the help of that penalty, has now had the ball for 5 minutes. And they have driven 62 yards so far. West Virginia big over Pitt in the 2nd quarter. And they're underway in the Ivy League. Georgia leading Vanderbilt in the 1st. Nothing doing on the left side, and maybe even a loss. There is some serious jawing going on. Christian Peter, number 55, led the charge along with Troy Dumas against JJ. And he'll lose a couple.
You know, some of these football players were even born the last time Kansas State beat Nebraska. And, you know, they'll talk to you and say, well, the rivalry is this and that, but we're only around for the 3 or 4 years that we're here. But it means a lot to this Kansas State team, believe me.
Nebraska, one of the premier programs in the country, certainly on top, has longer than any other school that plays college football. May going into the end zone, tipped away at the last second by Miles. Another great play by Baron Miles, trying to avoid another great catch by Kevin Lockett.
And Miles is only 5'8", 165 pounds, but he plays a lot bigger than that as a cornerback. One-on-one coverage again. He's the best coverage guy here for Nebraska. Watch how he sets his feet, does not interfere with the defender, and just bats that ball away.
He's part of the itty-bitty committee. They got a bunch of DBs out there, 5'8", 5'9", but they can play.
Again, you can see the accuracy, though, of Chad Mathos. That ball was thrown beautifully right over the top of Miles, but all he could do was bat it left.
3rd and 12. Complete to Mitch Running, but he will be well short of the 1st down as Tyrone Williams was right there. In fact, almost knocked the ball away and made the tackle immediately.
Yeah, Williams, you see, they try to run a pattern where they get him to believe he's breaking inside, then they break back out. But Williams, again, with excellent coverage, the throw right on the money. I mean, Williams could not knock it away, but I'm impressed with Williams' coverage as he recognized the pattern and the change in the pattern, the uncovered route. is what they like to call this, and he's going to get geared up here to block the field goal.
Martin Gramatica, a freshman from LaBelle, Florida, will attempt a 37-yarder. It is up, and it is no good off to the right. Just missing to the right. Gramatica, I think, thought it went through. 5:47 to go in the second quarter. Kansas State holds the ball for a long time, but comes away with nothing. Nebraska still leads by a point.
Saturday on the commish.
All of these witnesses are being coerced.
When Tony's friend is the key witness in a murder trial, Tony puts his badge on the line to protect him.
Can't hide this guy forever, Tony. He swore an oath to uphold the law.
An all-new commish, Saturday here on ABC. Sunday, something wild and woolly's coming your way. On an all-new America's Funniest Home Videos. Followed by a wild and woolly all-around Sunday here on ABC.
Hey, we want to remind you, coming up at halftime, moments away from now, the Prudential Halftime Report. John Saunders, scores, highlights, all the stuff. Plus, Julie Moran will have a conversation with Tyrone Wheatley of Michigan about his decision to pass up the NFL and return for his senior season. The Blue Maze. Of course, Michigan Penn State game 2 of our doubleheader today. Lawrence Phillips on first down, cannot get outside. The first guy there was number 43, Deshaun Fogle, and then he got a lot of help from his friends, but now we've got 2 or 3 flags on the ground. And they're going after each other again.
Yeah, they are. Deshaun Fogle recognizing the misdirection play. It's a play that Nebraska likes to run well. You can see where tackle leader gets knocked out. Let's see if there's a face mask. Yes, there is. Deshaun Fogle guilty of grabbing onto the face mask, and that's why the flags are on the ground. You know, I was talking to Osborne, and you know, he went to me with Matt Turman being the quarterback. He said he had about 15 different players come up to him, pull him aside, and say, you know, Coach, I used to play quarterback. You know, I really think I could. He said it's unbelievable how many volunteers he's had to play quarterback here in Nebraska.
Well, so far, Turman's doing a pretty good job. The penalty makes it 1st and 5, just outside the 25. Lawrence Phillips has the first down again. Finally stopped and thrown down at about the 34. Chris Candy, 17, and Chuck Motto, 21, the free safety. Purcell Gaskins, the linebacker, also there.
That is the best run blocking line. Great block, backside 76. Joe Wilkes, you know, that left side doesn't get a whole lot of attention, but they're darn good football players too. And that's where the seam is created, right in the middle of that Kansas State defense. Look at the strength of Phillips, though. I mean, he had the whole team on his back, and he's still able to inch out a few more yards.
I think he plays a lot bigger than 200 pounds. And I'll tell you what, a guy that can't be overlooked is the fullback, Corey Schlesinger, who almost every play gets a solid block.
Reminds you of Tim Rathman a little bit, doesn't he?
He does. I think that was a busted play, and Turman tried to get something out of it. Maybe a yard. Laird Beach, number 54. Waiting for him. 43.
Yeah, Schlesinger, number 40, probably should have gone to the left side of the quarterback. You can see where Turman reverses out, almost loses the football, then turns back upfield to get what he can, you know, and that's headsy play, not trying to try too much there. You know, up until now, Turman was known as being a walk-on quarterback, and he's famous because his uncle married Tom Osborne's wife's sister, but all of a sudden, he's starting quarterback in Nebraska.
That's certainly. Well, that didn't come off very well either, as Turman is stopped at the line of scrimmage on 2nd and 9, so it's going to be 3rd and long. Dirk Oaks, number 94, a junior from Overland Park, Kansas, and Tim Colston, 92, who's had a big game already. It's 3rd and 8.
Here's the situation that the Kansas State defense wants, and that's to get Nebraska into an obvious throwing situation. They're not comfortable just dropping back and throwing the football. They like to do it off some sort of play action.
To Phillips, incomplete. He led him too far, and Marlowe was right there. Chuck Marlowe's had a fine game at free safety, a junior from Youngstown, Ohio, who anticipated that play perfectly.
I mean, again, that's 3 third-down plays here, where on 3rd and long they've gone to this football play, and I think you're going to get Phillips killed. You keep going back to this 3rd and long swing pass.
Florida has come back and leads Auburn by a point in the second quarter. That's some kind of game it was expected to be. Darren Erstad on the punt. Mitch Running back and pressure again on Erstad, but he gets it away. Running, calling for the fair catch, comes up and hauls it in at the 29. Just over 3.5 minutes left to go. A flag goes down at the point of the fair catch. A 34-yard punt by Erstad. And yet another penalty on the play.
Osborne's getting a little hot under the collar. A lot of penalties early in this football game.
Terry Turlington with more airtime.
First down.
There it is.
So they're saying Nebraska was too close to the fair catch by Running. And there's Brook Berringer warming up on the sideline for Nebraska. Will he be coming in to add another dimension, as he's a little better passer than Turman? That's what Brook has done for his career. And you see with Tommy Frazier, neither of them have played that much. Again, the 5 wideout spread formation for Kansas State, but May now changes the play, walks up to the line, and puts J.J. behind him. On first down, flags again. J.J. will gain just a couple, but Nebraska jumping, and it looked like it was Terry Keneally on the stop.
I think it was Dwayne Harris, 86, at the bottom of the screen, the left defensive end, who jumped off, and I'm really surprised to have seen this happen this much for Nebraska now. See number 86 there in his 3-point stance, folks. You know, he's in the neutral zone. The ball is snapped. And that's 5 yards. Yes, this happened quite a few times now, especially in the last 2 tries here against Nebraska.
Well, right here, Kansas State has gained 10 yards without really running a play, basically. The penalty on the fair catch, followed by the offsides penalty. They're 10 yards further up the field without gaining it. Now May looks like he's changing the play again. He's only got 5 seconds left on the shot clock. The game clock. The play clock with 1 second. And it's going to be second down and 5.
You know, he recognized the blitz. He recognized he didn't have enough protection. He got out of the play, got into another play. But I think he was so excited. He put so much velocity on that football that Smith just couldn't hold on to it.
If he had, might have knocked him down. Well, Chad May does a lot of check with me, apparently, because he's changing the play and running that play clock down virtually every single time. They're breaking the huddle now. They only have 4 seconds left on the play clock. Now he's got to call timeout. They have been pushing it on every play. That's their second timeout. They have 1 more remaining here in the half, and we have 3:02 left to play in the first half. And again, we're updating you on everything else that's happening and will happen in college football today.
Well, he's having a good chat with Bill Snyder. He's telling him what he wants him to do, and you know, certainly a good decision there to get out of losing 5 yards. You know, one thing about May, Snyder told us he's going to check off 30 to 40% of the time, Steve, because he has such great understanding that you know, he's not a tool of this offense. He understands this offense, and he makes this offense work for him.
Well, he's been very impressive. There's no doubt about that. We talked at the beginning of the telecast about how this game centers on the QB for each team. That has been so true. I think it's very interesting to see what Nebraska does. If they have an opportunity here before the end of the half, will they bring Berringer in and try to put the ball up a little more before halftime?
Berringer's going to get checked out throughout the game. I talked to him yesterday, and he told me, you know, I said, you have a doctor here with a stethoscope, and, you know, you had x-rays last week. how does this work for you today? If you play, he says, I can feel it. He said, it's so painful that I can tell when it's collapsing. Here's the only quarterback in the nation whose percentages is lung collapse, not completion percentage.
And he's got a whole body armor practically that he's going to wear if he goes out there in an effort to protect him. 2nd and 5. May looking down the far sideline. Incomplete. It was intended for Tyson Schweiger. And Tyrone Williams had the cover.
Tyson Schweiger. Incomplete. The video play was underneath Tyrone Williams.
Tyrone Williams with good coverage just forces Schweiger out of the bounce area and goes up and knocks the ball away. Again, Nebraska loves this man-to-man coverage. They're not going to get away from it. Kansas State saw Wyoming have a lot of success throwing for over 300 yards a couple weeks ago against Nebraska and saw some things that they felt they could do. And I talked about that Wyoming game with Charlie McBride, the defensive coordinator. He said it was like basketball on grass. He said, there's so many things out there. He said, our guys like play basketball.
Play clock down to 1 second as they just get it off. May intended for running. What a catch! Mitch Running with a fine catch near the Nebraska 40. First down. Troy Dumas was there, but he couldn't do anything about it. A gain of 26.
Mitch Running having himself an outstanding afternoon. He's the inside receiver, worked his way out. And Dumas could not cover. And you got a linebacker on wide receiver. That's a mismatch that you like to exploit offensively here for Kansas State.
They mark it right at the 35. And now time is called by the officials. We have 2:38 remaining in the first half. And the chains were not set. So the linesman said, hold it, as the referee was about to let the play begin.
I would tell you, if you're a chain guy here at Kansas State, you've got to be in good shape. I mean, they move the football. You got to get sprinters out there.
They're so fired up about football here at K-State, even the mascot signed an autograph. First down at the Nebraska 35. Nebraska leading 7-6 in the final minutes of the first half. May over the middle, complete again to Running. He's knocked down immediately by Ellison Stewart. But it's another first down. Gain of 14.
Again, Mitch Running working against linebackers. Last time against Dumas, this time it's against Edwards and Stewart, or Ellison Stewart, I'm sorry, 41 as he comes in there. I mean, you see where last time he broke it out, this time he broke it in the middle. They got this Nebraska defense on its heels, defending the pass downfield and isolating wide receivers with linebackers.
Just outside the Nebraska 21. Intercepted, picked off by Troy Dumas. Dumas just bumped out of bounds, barely at the 29 by Barrett Brooks, number 73, and Jason Johnson, 64. Well, he went a long time without an interception, but a big one for Troy Dumas in Nebraska right here late in the first half.
And looking at the interception, May will throw the ball right at us. You can see Dumas breaking. It looked to me like he was expecting Running to break flat. He didn't. He went upfield. Dumas cut underneath. And I have to congratulate the lineman here, Johnson, who was a former tight end, and Brooks, for being able to run Dumas down because they saved 6 points here for Nebraska.
Yeah, he was on his way.
He's got to get over, and I'm sure somebody's taking a shot at him. And he does get knocked on the ground there by Dwayne Harris. But I got to congratulate the hustle, the offensive line there.
Oh, even former tight ends are great athletes. Corey Schlesinger, the ball carrier, stopped by Chuck Marlowe, the free safety, with a big gain on first down.
That, of course, ends at successive passes without throwing an interception for Chad May.
First down, gain of 10 to the 19 for Schlesinger. Childs in it. the I-back position, and Tim Colston, number 92, grabs him around the ankles right away. Clinton Childs, a junior from Omaha. Just about every one of the guys that plays I-back, and the fullback Schlesinger, for that matter, averaging 6 or 7 yards a carry for Nebraska this year. Timeout called to stop the clock with 1:15 to go.
Right about here last week, Turman was very effective with a throwback. Let's see if they try and take advantage of the turnover and the momentum it creates to try and second down here, get the offense going to the right, get the defense thinking that way, and throwing the football across the field. Did that last week to Abdul Muhammad, who's a gifted wide receiver. Plays that wingback position here in Nebraska.
158 attempts before that pick. But he got the Big 8 record before it happened. For a single season.
Mr. Northwood, Kansas, you. I'm sure he's listening. We'll correct us on that.
Your former Green Bay teammate.
That's right.
Yeah, he'd be calling you if you didn't remember that. Kansas State's going to have to really rise to the occasion because the turnaround and momentum, and Brook Berringer is coming into the game, and quarterback for Nebraska. The turnaround and momentum of the turnover can be blunted if they prevent Nebraska from scoring. Berringer, a junior from Goodland, Kansas, grew up rooting for the Wildcats and the Jayhawks.
He's checking out himself and what they have called in the huddle.
He's going to put it up on the fade pattern. Incomplete. It was almost intercepted by Chris Canty, who had excellent coverage. The pass was intended for Reggie Ball going down the far sideline.
Well, good pass protection up front by Wigger, number 72. You see the pass. It was a lovely pass. Still looked like he got everything he wanted to on it. Look at Canty play with that ball. And boy, when you have that football so close to you, it is so frustrating not to be able to just grab it and pull it in.
Put a suitcase handle on that thing. 3rd down and 9. 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining in the half. And timeout now is called by Kansas State. Kansas State. And this is what Berringer is wearing underneath his jersey. This is like full body armor, practically. It's more than rib pads. It's more really than a flak jacket, I think, John.
Yeah, it is. It's an additional protection underneath the flak jacket. So he's got all sorts of protection for that left lung, and that's the lung that's been collapsing. You know, he started 2 weeks ago against Wyoming. That's when they discovered he had a collapsed lung. Last week he got x-rayed at halftime against Oklahoma State. Realized again that he had less of a collapse. It was 20% as opposed to 30 to 40% the prior week. And, you know, he has a doctor on the sidelines, and they're taking every precaution they can, but, you know, they feel that he's not in any way endangering himself by playing in this game. And he's the better thrower. You know, so it's a wise move by Tom Osborne to get him in the game here. We're trying to get some points here in a 2-minute offense right before the half.
Chris Canty, number 17, who almost came up with the interception a moment ago, is shaken up on the sideline. At the end of the end zone, out of there appears to be asphalt or some type of hard material. And he apparently went down on that hard, wet surface and scraped up his leg a little bit. But Berringer comes back in. 6'4", 210. Starting today, had completed 62% of his passes in limited duty in relief of Tommy Frazier. It is 3rd and 10. The ball at the 19 of Kansas State. Clinton Childs is in at I-back. Berringer lofting it for the end zone again for Muhammad, incomplete. Abdul Muhammad had a step, but the ball a little overthrown.
Joe Gordon on excellent coverage as he ran with Muhammad to the wide side of the football field. Trying to fade to the right side. In this play, they try Muhammad on a fade. To this side, he runs right. You know, if he pushed the defender upfield a little more, he could create more grass for himself. But Gordon is a smart player, recognized the play, and was able to cover it adequately.
Darren Erstad on to attempt a 35-yard field goal on 4th down and 9. He hooked it, no good, to the right, to the left.
might be a fade, isn't it? Is it a fade if you're left-footed and it goes left?
You're right. I'm thinking right left, and it went left. So each team has missed a field goal. Here in the second quarter, the score remaining 7-6 Nebraska.
There's that, the left-footed kicker from the right side there. And usually that ball will hook in a little bit. With that wind, though, you can see the flag on that upright just pushed it left. And, yeah, you can see he's not very pleased with the results. What a way to make a living in college, kicking field goals.
Exactly 1 minute remaining in the first half. Kansas State on first down. JJ running straight ahead. Christian Peter, number 55, making the tackle.
I would think right now, with just over 40 seconds left in this game, and the fact that May's already been stung with that one interception and turnover, Kansas State is happy to go in here trailing by 1 point. They ran the football there, and I can't imagine they're going to take any more chances here, but especially in the field position where it is.
Well, again, they're taking a lot of time, letting that clock run down. Second down, about 7. JJ again.
Hold on to that football.
That's
the important thing.
Smith will get a yard or so. Doug Coleman, number 46, making the hit. And they're just going to let the clock run out now. Bill Snyder done a tremendous job here at Kansas State. This has got to be the biggest game of his tenure so far. In his 6th year, they are down by 1 point to Nebraska at halftime.
Well, he very grudgingly admitted, yes, this was a football game. If you beat him over the head long enough and ask him, you know, he will say this is the biggest game in Kansas State, at least while he's been head coach there.
Stay tuned for the Prudential Halftime Report. John Saunders and all the scores and highlights. We'll see you later.
CFA College Football on ABC Sports. Brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And the U.S. Navy. You and the Navy, full speed ahead. Stay tuned for the Prudential Halftime Report after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Do you know what Hitachi makes? Ready? Go. Does Hitachi make camcorders, barcode readers, hydroelectric power equipment, clown noses, power tools, TVs, MRI systems, CDs, oscilloscopes, micromotors, mass transit trains, the president's PBX phone system, cadmium semiconductors, lots of products, over 20,000. Yeah, but who's counting?
Want a taste you can't turn back? Trying to bring us down on stack. Double stack, you pack. You got to like that. Take the space out of Big Bangs to look so big. That's a drag, and they got pieces off those greases. Bring us down for whole chips you bet. 2 more stacks is what you get. Get the Pringles double stack of chips. Double 800 cents. Yeah! Once you pop, you can't stop.
I was strong as I could be. I gonna rock. Nothing ever got to me.
Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Are you ready for some football? Monday Night Football. We got Frank and Al and Dan. They're gonna get it kick-started.
Then stay tuned for NTV News with Al Zobel and Pam Weiss, right here on the Nebraska Television Network, celebrating 40 years of service.
Well, my rowdy friends are here for Monday night. Right.
This is Ford Taurus, the best-selling car in America. And this is the best offer of the year on Taurus. Now get super low 2.9% financing for up to 48 months, or a $500 cash bonus when you buy or lease any new Taurus. Make no mistake, these are the absolute lowest finance terms of the year. This is Ford Taurus with 2.9 financing or a $500 cash bonus. And this is the time to buy or lease. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Better get to your Ford dealer before this is gone.
When I was in Congress, I had a reputation of putting Nebraska's farmers and ranchers first. And I can tell you that I believe Jan Stoney will be just as dedicated to agriculture as I was. Jan's no stranger to having tough challenges, and she'll fight for Nebraska just as hard. And I can tell you that Jan will not vote to cut Social Security. Jan Stoney will bring a real change to the Senate. She'll put Nebraska first.
The Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by The Prudential. Peace of mind, it comes with every piece of the rock. From our New York studios, your host, John Saunders. 7-6 is the score. Nebraska and the Cornhuskers with the lead over Kansas State. The missed point after the difference in that game. The second half is straight ahead. The first scores and highlights beginning with the #1 team in the nation and #1 in a little trouble right here. The game has just gone to halftime. Steve Spurrier had yet to lose this year. Auburn coach Terry Bowden just has yet to lose. His coach of Auburn, Patrick Nix, 17 yards from Thomas Bailey, gets a first down. And then Nix and Bailey hook up one more time. A little play action here. Out of the pocket, tosses this one deep. Perfect pass, hauled in 7-0. After a Florida fumble, Auburn tries for the touchdown one more time, but this one is knocked away by Eckhart Lott. They settle for the field goal. Terry Dean then goes to work, hooking up 42 yards with Jack Jackson, who is wide open. His 23rd touchdown reception. That's one shy of a Florida record. 10-7 is the score. Jack Jackson through the air. Jack Jackson on the ground as well. Takes this one to the zone. And right now, Florida takes the lead at this point. But Auburn comes back with a little razzle-dazzle. The reverse here. Frank Sanders, also a wide receiver. And he gets it to the end zone for the touchdown. Auburn takes the lead. They've added a couple of field goals. 22-14 now. Auburn has the lead at halftime of that one. We, of course, will keep you updated. That's one of the biggest games of the day, but perhaps the biggest is in the Big Ten, where later today on ABC Sports, Penn State, undefeated, goes on against the Michigan Wolverines. For a preview of that, let's join Keith Jackson.
1 yard, one step, one small bound by a small child. But in perspective, a history for Penn State football, an almost endless journey, because it was that distance that kept them from going to the Rose Bowl for the first time a year ago. It was a mighty goal line stand by the Michigan Wolverines. 3 plays at one end of the stadium, 1 play at the other end of the stadium, and Penn State's hopes were blunted. Michigan didn't get to the Rose Bowl either, so they're hungry too. And here we've got them, both highly ranked teams, ready to go at it one more time, 1994 at Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor. Join us. It's coming next. This is hallowed ground. It's very hard to acquire.
As Keith mentioned, Joe Paterno has never coached in a Rose Bowl. Penn State was in the Rose Bowl in Pasadena back in 1923. Let's continue with scores now in the ACC. Maryland has a lead over North Carolina. It's now tied up 7-7. North Carolina's won 4 straight in this one. Notre Dame's Randy Kinder has run one in from 41 yards out. They lead BYU 7-0. Virginia Tech 6-0 over East Carolina. Lawrence Lewis 60-yard fumble return for a touchdown there. Duke and Clemson, as Duke looks to remain unbeaten, 10-7. They have the lead. Spence Fisher has a 17-yard touchdown pass in that game. Ohio State and Michigan State. The Buckeyes won this one last year, and right now, Michigan State, the Spartans have the lead. 7-3 is the score at halftime there. West Virginia and Pittsburgh, the backyard brawl. 33-19 is the score. Chad Johnson has a 40-yard touchdown pass to Zach Abraham. Vanderbilt against Georgia. Surprise here, 24-21. Vandy has the lead, although Eric Sire has 2 touchdown passes in the game. Lonnie Gordon, 12-yard touchdown run, has given Vanderbilt the lead. Virginia and Georgia Tech, 10-0 is now the score. Randy Neal, 77-yard interception return for a touchdown. NC State and Wake Forest, 7-0 is the score there. Tremaine Stevens, 52-yard touchdown run. And Eddie Boyens has broken a school mark with 132 career receptions. Columbia against Penn. Columbia surprised this year. 3-3 is the score in the second quarter against a Penn team that won 15 straight. Mississippi State and South Carolina. Steve Tannehill has a touchdown pass there, 40 yards tied at 7 apiece. And Robert Morris, the only team in college football right now that has never lost a game, is Joe Walton. Looks to remain unbeaten. 0-0 is the score there. Back with more in a moment.
financial concerns, medical problems, anxiety about the future, the loss of a loved one, the pressures we all face, the emotions we all experience. 50 million Americans, 1 out of every 5 of us, have found they can cope better, feel more secure, actually improve their lives by turning for help to one particular company. A company whose sole purpose has always been to provide its customers with products and services that bring them to a different state of mind. Peace of mind, security, protection, preparation, optimism, peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
The Big 8, a conference with a rich history.
Sensational player, maybe from Omaha, and he is going. We put back goes to Terry to the 20, 15, 10,
Looking at throwing it in. Now, here's the future. The Big 12.
And welcome back once again to the Credential Halftime Report. John Saunders joined by Julie Moran. Julie, we've talked about it earlier today. Michigan, Penn State, the big game later on ABC. Last year, Joe Paterno probably thought that was the last he'd seen of Tyrone Wheatley.
He wished. You know, when Tyrone decided to stay in school, it really sent shockwaves through the college football offseason. Most experts said he would go early in the first round, but John, he actually enjoys being a student, and getting his college degree has been as much an ambition for him as the NFL.
Wheatley explodes.
I thought all the good and the bad. I thought, you know, the good thing would be to live your life normal. And yet at the same time, if you feel like you want the money and all those things, go ahead and do it. And I also told him the easy thing would be to go into professional football because you couldn't lose. The hard thing would be come back because everybody wants you to do better. They expect you to win the Heisman. So you're confronted with a lot more problems. So I guess you could say I told him to take the money and run if he wanted it the easy way. The only tempting part about it was, I mean, monetary value wasn't so much in the fact, you know, it wasn't just to chase a childhood dream that I wanted now, or can I wait, you know, and I figured, you know, I'm just following the wrong path. It's not going to hurt to stay another year, so I just stayed.
So you followed your heart, and you said, I'll put off the millions for a while. And a lot of people really put you on a pedestal. Is that a heavy load to carry sometimes, that people put you up here?
It's hard because when you do things what's best for you, you know, it's kind of weird in a way because, like I said, I did what's best for me, and people just look at you and put you on a pedestal, and all of a sudden you're a role model. And I mean, it's not like I'm a spokesperson for the, you know, stay in school or anything like that, but I just did what was best for Tyrone Wheatley. And if a kid would choose to, you know, follow me, I'm gonna give him the best footsteps to follow me.
So you decided to stay in school. You are now the preseason favorite for the Heisman. You get hurt. What kept you motivated during that time?
What kept me motivated was trying to get the shoulder back. You know, that the guys won 2 games without me, and it's kind of hard. And once you've been a part of a family, all of a sudden you drop out of it, and things just move on. You know, it's kind of hard. You just kind of feel left out sometimes. And it would have been even rougher if we would have lost the first day, you know, first 2 games. But they won, and things were doing pretty well for me.
You've had 2 big games, Iowa, Michigan State. You're back in the Heisman race. People are talking about you again. Is it possible? Can you win the Heisman Trophy?
Right now, I'm not going to say yes or no, but, you know, if I do win it, then I'll come back and say, I know I can do it all along. But yeah, it's something, it's one of those things that if I can pick it up along my way, trying to help this team do what we got to do, then, you know, it's fine. But that's not my, you know, turn of focus right now. My whole focus is trying to get us to Pasadena.
Is Tyrone really the best tailback in the country?
No.
No?
No.
Who's better?
It's a lot out there. I mean, there are a lot of guys out there that have some things that I don't have, you know.
I'm still, learning the position. A lot of things I still have to learn. A lot of moves I'm still trying to catch up on. But hey, if it's a hole not there, I go with the things that I learned first, make one.
If someone were to put education here on scale to football here, how would it tilt?
For me, either. Because, football is what got me here. I've been playing since I was 9 years old. And basically that's all I knew. And football has turned me onto another light, which is school. And even though I've been playing football longer than I've been a school person, but I know the significance of school.
John, he spoke to Chris Webber, he spoke to Desmond Howard. He said he sensed some regret on their part, and that was definitely a part of his decision to stay at Michigan.
Yeah, but wait a second. Howard and Webber, little doubt they have no regrets about the amount of money they made. That had to be tough to turn that down.
It was. He said it was, but he said, you know what, Julie, I have the rest of my life to work and pay the bills. He said, I like being in college. I like being a student. He said, I think I can do both, and so I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you only get one chance to be a college student.
That's right.
Thank you very much, Julie. We'll continue with more of the Prudential halftime report in just a moment.
A date on the calendar. Monthly exams. The beat of a heart. A glimpse into the future. All the pieces that add up to a large dose of caring and concern from a pioneer of managed health care. Because babies need to be taken care of well before they're born. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
Some people think athletes have it made. Well, nobody's life is easy. Everybody runs through tough times sooner or later. Really living life isn't the answer. Drugs and alcohol won't solve the problem.
If you or someone you know needs help or information concerning drug abuse, call this toll-free number, 1-800-662-HELP. This message provided by NCAA.
The Prudential halftime report has been brought to you by the Prudential Peace of Mind. It comes with every piece of the ride. Your second half is coming up with first some news. Texas coach John McAvick has suspended 7 players for disciplinary reasons. They'll miss tomorrow's game against Rice. Included in the group, wide receivers Lavelle Pickney and Mike Adams. They missed an appointment with McAvick, and Adams fell asleep at the wheel of his girlfriend's car, ran off the road into a photography studio. It's their second suspension this year, the first time for free use of a rental car. So they'll miss tomorrow's game, but the second half of your game is coming up in a moment.
Ah, the big city in your snazzy new Mercedes-Benz. What a surprise. Mr. Cabby forgot to signal. Good thing your side windows are made not to fog up. And here's the boys from Nikki's Pizza. With close ratio steering, you won't get pepperoni on your hood. Oops, was that a pothole? From where you're sitting, one never knows. Yes, the big city. If you can make it here, you can, well, you know the rest.
Hey, girls, we're done. Get some. Oh, you ready? And no more. These are Daddy's Corn Pops. Oh, look. Daddy's bowl is too full.
The problem with a cereal that tastes like popcorn, only sweeter, is that it disappears like popcorn, only faster.
We share. Hi, girls.
Happy birthday!
It's good.
Now it's all about making breakfast.
Kellogg's Corn Pops. It's hard to stop when it's Pops.
Come on, sweetheart!
Your first big step, Joey.
Yeah.
Joey doesn't care that inside is the world's most energy-efficient furnace. Or that Carrier can save up to 40% annually on heat.
Yeah.
All he cares about is how warm and comfy Carrier keeps it inside.
Joe?
If you care about energy efficiency and saving money, call your Carrier dealer.
Turn it up, Joey.
Carrier, we're the inside guys.
As college football celebrates its 125th anniversary, NASDAQ, the stock market for the next 100 years, presents this great moment. Herschel Walker had one of the most remarkable careers in the history of college football, including his 4-touchdown performance against Georgia's rival, the Florida Gators.
Jordan, now gets turning around the corner, and Walker.
It started with the idea of getting truckers a better two-way radio system. And with a war chest of $3,000, they decided to take on the largest company on earth. When the smoke cleared, MCI had changed telecommunications forever. Where in today's world do you find such aggressive, fast-growing companies? Actually, there's a list of them printed every day. NASDAQ, the stock market for the next 100 years.
Welcome back to Manhattan, Kansas, where the rain has increased in intensity and may become a factor here in the second half, with Nebraska leading Kansas State by 1 point. Here's how it happened in the first half. Nebraska getting on the board with Lawrence Phillips and a touchdown.
Following a good block by Schlesinger, his fullback. And Nebraska takes the lead 7-0.
Kansas State got on the board, even though they missed the extra point. Chad May with a beautiful pass.
And great reception by Mitch Running, who catches it. He had 4 receptions for 73 yards in the first half.
Then a big play as Kansas State had been driving late in the first half, and Chad May picked off for the first time in 150-some attempts by Troy Dumas. Kansas State was able to hold on defense. Kansas State and Nebraska each missed a field goal. And Lawrence Phillips, the I-back of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, left the field at halftime on a cart. You can see that ice is on his hand or wrist. And other than that, it's hard to tell what other injury he may have suffered. Let's go down to Gary Reasons on the sideline and see if we can get a report on that. Gary, you dry down there.
It's a little wet down here and things are going tough. I talked with Coach Osborne coming out about Lawrence Phillips, and he said that Phillips had jammed his left thumb. The trainer had a picture taken out, but they want to see if he had an x-ray. They're hopeful that he can return in the second half. Coach Osborne also said that at quarterback change, he put Berringer in there because he had some height and they wanted to throw the football. They don't know whether they're going to start Turman or Berringer in the second half. He wouldn't tell me. Steve?
Thanks a lot, Gary. Try to stay dry at least.
Well, that makes sense, too. Berringer 6'4", to throw those fade patterns, which they tried to do unsuccessfully in second and third down. Nebraska went to the taller quarterback. That makes a lot of sense.
Kansas State is going to get the football to start the second half as they elected to defer after winning the toss to open the ball game. That strategy may have backfired a little bit for them. But they're down by a point to Tom Osborne and the Cornhuskers. Darren Erstad teeing it up.
Kicking off for Nebraska, number 6, Erstad.
3 deep backs.
Number 3,
Ron Brown is the deepest. Mike Lawrence and Leon Edwards also flanking him. And a line drive that Lawrence will have to go back and down deep in the end zone. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20, and let's take a look at statistically what happened in the first half. I think it's impressive, John, that Nebraska was only able to rush for 75 net yards in the first half.
That's right. This is the team that rushes for 430 yards a game, so Kansas State was successful in shutting them down. And, of course, Kansas State, as expected, moved the football through the air with 173 yards. Again, the key turnover that stopped the drive, that one turnover, the interception of Chad May, is what has kept this game so close. Time of possession, of course, very close as well.
May with J.J. Smith behind him to open the second half. And Smith, the ball carrier, runs right into the arms of Christian Peter and will go nowhere. Just as Kansas State's defense has done a good job with the Nebraska running game, Nebraska's defense has literally not allowed Kansas State to run the football at all. Field position was a big part of this game, especially early on. It led to Nebraska's touchdown. The Cornhuskers only had to go 28 yards. 2nd down 9. They looking for somebody and threw it behind Mitch Running, incomplete.
And I'm going to wonder, that the rain is coming down a lot heavier than it was in the first half. see what kind of effect it has on Chad May, his ability to throw the football, and just overall ball security by everybody involved in this game. Running backs, receivers, everybody. That ball's going to be slick. A lot of the players wear gloves nowadays. They get wet. And we'll see, if turnovers and the weather conditions play heavily in the outcome of this football game.
3rd and 9. Going deep on a pump fake, block it, cannot hold on. And what another great play by the secondary. Tony Gielan, number 9, and Baron Miles, number 14. Timing it perfectly, and Miles has made 3 outstanding plays back there.
That ball hung up in the air just a little bit into the wind. It started to flutter as it left Chad May's hands. And, we're informed that this is Chad May's first game ever playing in rainy conditions. Getting out of California. You see how the ball flutters in the air? Doesn't get there in time, and because it floats, blocking really pays the penalty by those safeties and corners.
Scott Collins to punt for Kansas State. Fair catch called for, but the ball allowed to bounce, roll, and will be downed at the 47 of Nebraska by Chris Canty. So the Cornhuskers, after the 32-yard punt by Collins, will have excellent field position, and it will be Berringer who will start at quarterback here in the second half. Lawrence Phillips injured, as we told you. And so the I-back is 26 Clinton Childs on 1st and 10. And Childs has the football but doesn't go anywhere. Maybe even a loss of a yard as he ran smack in to Darrell Harper, number 93, and Purcell Gaskins, number 9. There's Lawrence Phillips on the sideline.
And it was his left thumb that was injured. And of course, that injury, not being able to squeeze the football, is magnified by the fact that we have wet conditions here today. So, if you only have use of one of your hands running the football, you're at risk for putting the football on the ground. It looks like he's going to check in with his coaching staff. They want to know about his availability, too.
Clinton Childs in the game, junior from Omaha. He's a little bigger than Lawrence. Turman now back in the game at quarterback to run the option. And he cuts it up to about the 49 of Kansas State. Laird Beach, number 54, making the tackle.
Coming right at you, Matt Turman, who's not all that big. He's just 5'11", about 165 pounds. Takes a good shot. Actually was able to elude Gordon's shot, number 1, who almost hopped in there and just got underneath that. They're shuffling quarterbacks in and out. Turman's back on the sidelines. Berringer's back in an obvious passing situation. Nebraska's only completed that one swing pass to the right, and that was their first attempt of this football game for 15 yards. I hope they don't go back to it here.
3rd and 7. Play action. But whistle stop play.
That was, of course, until the last 2 passes that Berringer tried to throw were right before the half. But the shuffling of quarterbacks may cost them too much time.
On the offense. Well, they didn't get it off in time. We've seen a lot more mistakes than we're used to seeing from Tom Osborne's crew. And instead of 3rd and 7, it's going to be 3rd and 12. Here's where Nebraska started from, and the results in the first half possessions.
Their touchdown came out of that great field position in their second drive, starting at the KSU 28-yard line, and they took it in for the score.
That is the 7th penalty against Nebraska for 45 yards, and that makes it 3rd and 12, back near their own 45. Berringer will swing it out to Childs. And Marlowe over there to cut him down just as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Chuck Marlowe, the free safety, with an outstanding first half, makes a good play here in the 3rd quarter.
And I don't want to beat this point up too much, but that's 4 times we've seen that swing pass on 3rd and long. And it was only successful the very first time it was tried today as Marlowe went over and made the play. Looked like he banged up his knee a little bit as he's limping on the sideline. There's Marlowe, 21. He comes in low. Yeah, and he may have just hurt his hamstring.
Yeah,
he slipped down and played back on underneath him.
Darren Erstad putting it away. Mitch Running will have to run up and try to get it. He won't even get there. Very short kick. And it'll bound and go down at the 21 and a half of Kansas State. A 30-yard punt And 11:30 left to go in the third. Nebraska with a 1-point lead, and Phillips looks like he's getting ready to come back.
As cool as your red top, favorite hot spot. It's something with hometowns, everyone's best clown. It's always been true. This buzz for you. Ah, yeah. From this year's blue jeans, Hollywood chase scenes, as timeless as pop flies, and you know why. It's always been true. It's always
Just for you, a taste you'll find in no other beer at any price. Beechwood aged Budweiser.
this buzz for you. Yeah, this buzz for you. It's always been true.
Life is a series of roadways. If you want to get anywhere, you've got to get off that bench and play, move into that merging lane. So you check your mirror, but an 18-wheeler with 30 tons of persuasion is saying, oh no, sister, you're not coming in here. Should you go? Stay. You point your big toe to the floor. You go. 275 horses and a 32-valve V8 respond. I am engine. Hear me roar.
So Montana and the Chiefs are in the division hunt, but beware of John Elway's mile-high magic. Kansas City meets Denver on ABC's Monday Night Football.
That's Monday night, but tomorrow night, after Funniest Home Videos and on our own, Dick Clark and Suzanne Summers host an all-new Will You Marry Me? An hour of surprising marriage proposals, including one by Dallas Cowboy Rodney Peete. And then Janie Garth stars in the world premiere of Without Consent tomorrow night here on ABC. Maine. First down, going long, incomplete. Baron Miles again had the coverage on Mitch Running. Ball a little bit overthrown. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Still from about the 21. Kansas State.
Chad May and company have tried to go on top several times here against Nebraska. It worked once for a big play. Of course, it worked for the touchdown with running. But you see a lot of plays, seam-type routes, fade-type routes, not necessarily anything coming across the middle. They had some success running the outs and the in patterns earlier on when they were driving. I'd like to see him get back to that kind of offense in their passing game. Certainly was a lot more successful.
Yep. The only difference in the game, a blocked extra point. As Nebraska leads by 1. Under pressure, Stewart right over the top of Chad May. As Ed Stewart just blasted through untouched. And May has dropped inside the 15.
Little stud inside. Lineman goes outside. Stewart comes inside. May's locked into coverage on the left side of the field. It doesn't see Stewart, who has already graduated from Nebraska, and they say he's going to go for his doctorate in psychology.
He's out of Chicago. And a good one. 6'1", 220. Loss of 8 on the sack by Stewart, so it is 3rd and 18.
This is a dangerous field position for Kansas State. May has already been picked off once today. They were able to dodge that bullet.
And they're going to run out of time. Did they get it off? They just got it off before the play clock. No, they didn't. Oh, now Chad May gets hit after whistles blow. And Nebraska's saying, we can't hear. It was a while before the officials stopped it. The problem is that the official that keeps the time is way upfield.
Yeah, he's the field judge, farthest away in the secretary, but Dante Jones got called for roughing it back. You can have 2 dead ball fouls here, which may actually negate one another, cancel one another out.
Kansas State has been pushing the limit on that play clock a lot. That time it ran out, but they're down there in the end, and with those extra seats in the end zone, it's pretty noisy.
On the offense.
Oh, they don't call the penalty on Dante Jones. Oh, wait a second.
Now, there was a separate flag thrown. There's the hit by Jones after May had stopped because whistles had stopped play.
They're not treating Chad May very well here in this home turf, are they? You got a gouged eye, you got hit the back here, the play's dead.
And it was a referee, Terry Turlington, who threw the ball through the flag. There we go. There we go. Okay.
Again, Chad May took too much time, dropped back. Whistles are blowing. You can see the referee blowing his whistle. A lot of players are stopped on the field, but, you know, Dante Jones in his defense, he has no idea what's going on, and there the flag comes out from the referee.
I wonder why he waited to announce it. I guess they wanted to mark off the first penalty and then the second. But you're right, John. They were both really dead ball fouls.
Yeah, the personal foul takes precedence then over the delay of game penalty.
So the ball is moved out to the 24, first and 10, Kansas State. He has time and throws it to Lockett. And Lockett was being tackled on the play by Doug Coleman.
And that's the matchup that Kansas State wants, and that's a linebacker covering a wide receiver. They're going back to the in patterns, which I think are going to work more successfully against this Nebraska defense. But the ball was tipped. You see the ball getting tipped in the line. Let's see if Christian Peter, 55, is up in the air, get that 36-inch vertical jump, and he hangs so high in the air. On his way down, he's going to come back here.
J.J. Smith out across the 25 is all for a few yards. Doug Coleman, 46. One of those to make the hit. Somebody who's on top of him, jawing at him a little bit as well. I'll tell you what, the Nebraska secondary, really since about midway through the second quarter, has really done a much better job than they did earlier. And here in the third quarter, they have so far shown really tight coverage.
And I think that, you know, they hadn't seen this 5 wide receiver set too often. I haven't seen it in the game films I watched. And when Kansas State came out with it, you know, they were effective, but give Nebraska defense credit for being able to adjust.
3rd and 7, Ron Brown has the first down out near the 40. Tony Beelan, the free safety, number 9, makes the stop.
There's Ron Brown, number 3, not very tall guy, 5'7", 160, but he can fly. He runs a 10-2, 100 meter. He did that when he was with Purdue. Transferred over here to Kansas State. That's his second third down conversion and reception. As you recall, earlier in the game, Chad May was running to his right, threw it back across the field to Ron Brown in the first half.
A gain of 13. The Kansas State 40. J.J. Smith picking his way. Ed Stewart got him around the ankle and would not let go. And then Dante Jones, 84, finished him off. A gain of a yard for the 41. It'll be 2nd and 9. Bill Snyder has won 31 games since he took over as head coach. Kansas State did not win a total of 31 games through the decade of the 80s.
He's already won 8 more games, you're right, in the 90s than he has in the 80s. That's a sign of a great job he's done, but also how low this program has been in football.
A little bit of a blitz, but they pick it up nicely. Mitch Running gets away from one, but not the others, as he brought down short of the first down. Tyrone Williams, number 8, leading the charge along with Kareem Moss, the strong safety, 29. Here are some other Big 8 scores that are now underway. Kansas and Iowa State, the only other big game in the Big 8. Big 8 game already underway. The others are the evening.
You know, that Kansas game, Kansas State, of course, played Kansas last Thursday. They're only in their 5th game in the season this year. They've been able to benefit by 2 bye weeks, and Thursday game, been able to allow them to practice and work with some of the newer players on this football team.
On the option, J.J. Smith and a new wrinkle as he scampers out of bounds with a first down in Nebraska territory. Tyrone Williams ran him out.
Yeah, something you're not going to see a lot from Kansas State, but they are capable of running the option. Matt May takes it down the line of scrimmage, gets it, but gets rid of it quickly enough so that J.J. Smith can come around the side. The 86 was in pursuit. That's Dwayne Harris, but I don't think he was, I think he was surprised seeing that option play because he should have stayed with J.J. Smith and he didn't.
That's one thing you don't prepare for against Kansas City is the option. From the 48 of Nebraska, 1st and 10. Kansas State's running that play clock so low, the crowd is starting to count down the play clock in an effort, I guess, to help.
And you know what? He asked for a new football here, which might be a nice way of getting around that play clock.
Yeah, they were down to 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Again.
That's it. Oh, by the way, can I get a new ball, please?
Nebraska, in their practice walkthrough at the stadium, in anticipation of rain today, was wetting down the footballs before they threw them around at practice, trying to get used to playing with the wet pigskin. Wet pigskin.
I guess that's what you call it.
I guess. They're not really made out of pigskin anymore. Are they?
No, probably not. He's down to 3 seconds again.
Lots of time. Incomplete. Through behind Tyson Schweiger. Could not get a penalty flag is down in the Kansas State backfield.
And we have holding against Kansas State.
I'll tell you what, Terry Turlington's had a lot more airtime than Gary Reasons has today. They both had to stand out in the rain, but Turlington's...
On the offense, 10-yard penalty, spot of the foul, repeat first down.
Well, that happened behind the line of scrimmage, so it's going to move them back about 17 yards total.
See if we can pick up the hold. Turlington threw the flag, and he came out late. I didn't see it anywhere there. It's good protection from Himilewski.
Chad May distraught because he had Schweiger open and missed him badly. Schweiger tried to come back to the ball, but it is so wet on the turf right now that any change of direction usually leads to the seat of your pants.
Yeah, but it's the new turf. I mean, it's going to be stickier than most, but even with this rain, it is tough to change direction. But that should favor the offense.
Through low and incomplete. It was intended again for Schweiger.
Pass is intended for number 7, Tyson
Darren Miles again with the coverage for Nebraska. We have 7 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third quarter. The score is still Nebraska 7, Kansas State 6.
36-yard line.
It is now 2nd down and 29 yards to go.
John or Nathaniel Green. These goes to the side of your combinations. John or Nathaniel Green.
Complete to Kevin Lockett. Miles wraps him up at about the 44. Gain of about 8 or 9 is all. It'll still be 3rd and long.
It's a good positive game, though. They didn't connect on first down, and now they're able to get the chains a little bit closer to first down territory. Still an awfully long way, though, to try and convert. I think you'll have to see Chad May go up top in one of those seam-type fade routes. If he has any chance at all of getting first down in this situation.
3rd and 21. Blitz is on, and May is running away from pressure. Incomplete as he throws it down the near sideline and out of bounds. He had the tight end, Brian Loika, number 80, over there. Jared Tomich, number 93, was really putting the pressure and the heat on Chad May, and Kansas State will have to punt it away.
Smart play by Kansas State just to move the pocket for Chad May and allow him to get around the outside, but it's defensed very well, not only in the secondary, but how the people up front for Nebraska adjusted to that moving pocket.
Reggie Ball, Tyrone Williams, and Kareem Moss are all back for Nebraska. Scott Collins on the punt. It's not a great one. I'll tell you what, the weather affects a lot of things, including the kicking game. And in a close game like this, special teams play and the kicking game, we've already seen the blocked extra point be the difference in the game. Here, only a 16-yard punt.
Ah, the big city in your snazzy new Mercedes-Benz. What a surprise. Mr. Cabby forgot to signal. Good thing your side windows are made not to fog up. And here's the boys from Nikki's Pizza. With close ratio steering, you won't get pepperoni on your hood. Oops, was that a pothole? From where you're sitting, one never knows. Yes, the big city. If you can make it here, you can, well, you know the rest.
You never know how outside forces can affect your long-distance calling. But you don't have to worry. We've got AT&T, the most reliable long-distance network. No other long-distance company guarantees your service will be back in minutes, not hours. Only AT&T guarantees it. After all, it's your business that's on the line. Well, AT&T, for the life of your business.
At Jiffy Lube, we understand that some people like to change their own oil. They want to save money. But when you think about the time it takes to buy new oil, get out the tools, do the work, properly dispose of the old oil, and clean up, well, just think about it. And then think about going to Jiffy Lube for your next oil change.
For quality products like Pennzoil and quality service, go to Jiffy Lube and ask for Pennzoil.
CFA football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, where safety, reliability, performance, and value are never optional. And Beechwood aged Budweiser, it's always been true. This buzz for you. Well, I got the cone heads going. I'll tell you what, both teams' fans are somewhat fired up. And as it gets later and tighter, it's only going to get worse. Lawrence Phillips back in at the I-back. Berringer gives him the football, and Phillips fires forward for a gain of 5. Let's get a report on that from the sideline of Gary Reason.
Nebraska has Lawrence Phillips back. We talked about his left thumb. The X-rated, it was negative. The reason it wasn't in the first series because they had to retape it. Longtime trainer George Sullivan retaped his thumb. They want to make sure he had full mobility of the thumb. He has it now. He caught some balls on the sideline. Looks like he's ready to go. Steve?
Thank you, and it may be a big boost in Nebraska's running game, which the Kansas State defense has done a good job against. Phillips has now carried 17 times for 58 yards. 2nd and 5, Phillips again. He'll gain only a couple this time.
That tape judge that Sullivan did on his thumb must be holding up. You know, Sullivan's retiring after this year as a trainer. He's been there 45 years. He's going to retire 45 years. That's a lot of thumbs you tape over the years, and you can see Phillips holding the ball in his right hand. That's the hand that is not injured. You'll probably see that, as he's a smart player, and is going to keep that ball in his healthy hand.
And a good job by the cornerback, Joe Gordon, number 1, to come up and beat him for a short gain. So it is 3rd down and a long 2 to go. Berringer to Phillips again, and he's not going anywhere now. Purcell Gaskins with a huge play.
Tell you what, the Kansas State defense is rising here in the 3rd quarter. They've held Nebraska only 4 yards rushing here in the 3rd quarter. You add on what they got on this drive, it's actually 8 yards in the 3rd quarter rushing for Nebraska. It's the number 1 rushing offense in the country. Keep in mind, over 400 yards a game, and they're under 100 yards so far in this football game.
That was a loss of 4. If you look at Mitch Running back to receive Darren Erstad's punt. Erstad with a good one. Running from the 13.
Oh boy, another push in the back.
I mean, there's another penalty flag. Grant Wistrom, number 98, made the tackle on running on for the 43-yard punt, but yet again, another illegal block penalty.
Yeah, and Chris Canty got called here. He's the cornerback running down, and it's just the, the slightest of nudges. Once again, 17 right there. Chris Canty, a little bump in the back. Hey, they're going to call that. I mean, you have to drill your players. Out of the foul. That's right, out of the foul, too. So you got to drill your players. Lay off, run away. I mean, at worst, the punt returner is going to get tackled there.
Now, you got to have your head in front of the player you're trying to block. That'll be better.
From Hollywood Pictures, some unexpected guests have arrived. But they're not just visiting. They're looking for a home inside our bodies.
The probe penetrates the brain.
Nobody can resist them. They're being manipulated. And only one man can stop them. Donald Sutherland. The Puppet Masters, rated R. Starts Friday, October 21st at a theater near you.
I was with my dad the other day. Got thinking how times have changed. He had the same job for 30 years, big pension. His company really looked out for him. Nobody's looking out for me.
I had the same conversation a couple of years ago with my broker at Paine Weber. She was saying these days no pension plan would ever be enough. And if I didn't plan for myself, nobody else was going to.
So that's what you've been doing.
Yeah.
How'd she know what you needed?
She asked.
Life is a series of roadways. And if you want to get anywhere, you've got to get off that bench and play. Move into that merging lane. So you check your mirror. Put an 18 wheel with 30 tons of persuasion saying, oh no, sister, you're not coming in here. Should you go? Stay. You point your big toe to the floor. You go. 275 horses and a 32-valve V8 respond. I am menacing. Hear me roar.
Big games today on ABC. Well, we got some big ones next week as well. Michigan and Illinois, UCLA, Arizona, Washington, Oregon, and there will be other regional coverage as well. Be sure to check your local listing for the game in your area, and also check with your cable operator as to what other game might be available pay-per-view. J.J. Smith, lose yardage back around the 2, and Christian Peter and Jason Pesterfield, both with great penetration.
You know, it's hard to run that misdirection play when you've got a coming out offense. I mean, when you're backed up against your own zone. Watch how long this play takes to develop. And once you see all that hesitation in the backfield as you run a misdirection, Pesterfield's there to make the play 57. Christian Peter comes in too to make the play. I mean, you know, once again, Kansas State is backed up on first down, running the football here and there. You know, they're back up right against the red zone, and they have to punt. With the wind against them, it's going to be very difficult. Chad May's confused. He calls timeout. 3:30 left here in the third quarter.
3:30 left against the wind. And while we have a timeout, let's get an update from John Saunders. John.
Well, Steve, Terry Dean had 5 interceptions all season. He's been picked off 4 times today by Auburn. So in comes Danny Werfel, the sophomore, and he hooks up with Reidel Anthony, 26 yards. To finish the drive off with a touchdown, they go for the 2-point conversion. Don't get it. It's a 2-point game, Steve.
Wow. Thanks, John. That's some kind of battle going on down there in Gatorland.
Danny Werfel stepped in last year, too, for Terry Dean during the season. Did a good job, and then Dean came back at the end of the season. Of course, that's going to hurt Dean's Heisman Trophy hopes if he didn't replace him in a game of such magnitude.
And here is Nebraska sitting at number 2 in the Bowl Coalition Bowl behind Florida. So they're obviously rooting for the Auburn Tigers. However, they got their hands full right here in K-State land.
Yeah, they got to take care of business right here. Somehow manage to get a first down, at least get some field position, because they will have to win with them in the fourth quarter. But right now, they're backed up.
It has been a struggle. Both defenses have risen to the occasion. 2 touchdowns, 1 by each team, and the blocked extra point. Nebraska blocking Kansas State's attempt when the snap was somewhat fumbled. The difference in the game. Made from his own end zone. Trying to throw it out of there long. Overthrows Mitch Running. The coverage by Baron Miles. And it's going to bring up 3rd and a whole bunch.
Yeah, that once again stops the clock, too. So even if Kansas State gets some yardage here, but is short of the 4th down marker, they will have to punt the football into the wind.
And remember, the last one only traveled 16 yards. The wind is blowing pretty much in their face.
So Nebraska gets good field position out of this. They may be able to kick the field goal while the wind is behind them. Conversely, it'll work for Kansas State again in the fourth quarter.
Shuttle pass to J.J. Smith. Gets a block from Lockett. Trying to get to the first down marker and blasted out of bounds. And about the 19 by Troy Dumas. It's a gain of 16 yards, and he may have gotten just one more yard than he needed for the first down.
And you called it. Kevin Lockett made the key block and sprung with the additional 4 yards for the first down. That shovel pass has been very effective this year for Kansas State. They haven't used it all that much today. See that? They pull the left tackle, Ross Greenwood. There's that little hand action there as he just quickly flips it and draws that defense toward him. So it works perfectly when you draw that defensive end. He's out of the play, then you have an extra blocker on the perimeter.
And as you said earlier, John, the Nebraska defensive line is pinning their ears back. They just think about getting the man. This one, well off the mark, intended again for Mitch Running. Troy Dumas covering Running on the play. 3 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And coming up next is Michigan hosting Penn State. Game 2 of our doubleheader. John Carter and Tyrone Wheatley in the same game. I like it. A&M out in front of Baylor in the first quarter. North Carolina beating Maryland. Fine year. Notre Dame BYU in a close one in the second quarter. Virginia Tech having a fine season. Wisconsin and Purdue. Surprising. On occasion.
They called timeout. You know, he didn't get a play from the sidelines until about 18 seconds left on the play clock. And then as he went to the line of scrimmage, he realized again he doesn't have enough time. So, you know, Kansas State has one timeout left, and that's something that could work against them if they need to move the football at the end of this football game.
Nebraska has all 3 of their timeouts remaining, and Kansas State has just one with 3:10 left in the third quarter. So that running that play clock down all the way is starting to come back and bite them a little bit here.
Duke in the battle. They're still undefeated, trying to stay in that top 25.
That's trying to rebound. And now Iowa State has tied Kansas in the first quarter. It is 7-7.
Snyder talking with Chad May so far this afternoon. May is 15 for 32. 200 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interception. So he hasn't thrown for that high completion percentage he's accustomed to. Credit the Nebraska defense, credit the wind conditions and rain here this afternoon to causing some of that percentage to go down.
Here's the passing yards by quarter, and only 43 here. And those 2 quarters, of course, have been going against the wind. Nebraska hasn't hardly thrown the ball at all anyway.
15 yards in that first quarter, and a little 3-yarder in the third quarter.
I think that it's been apparent, at least from this vantage point, John, that the passes that May has thrown here lately into the wind have been effective because they don't have that zip. They have tended to hang and flutter a little bit, and they've been off the mark more so than we're used to seeing with him.
Yeah, and that, not being accustomed to this kind of weather, he thinks he can throw the same kind of ball. When you have windier conditions, you take some of the trajectory out of the football, you throw the ball more on the line. He has a powerful enough arm to do that. But I've seen a few of his passes down deep, they flutter and go innocuously out of bounds and get battered away by defenders. They've got to get their act together. They're struggling against the clock on almost every play offensively.
Gary, let's get a report from Gary Reasons on the sideline.
Steve, this Nebraska offensive group is one that has to be on the field to be in sync. This offensive line, they're over here, they're stretching, they're trying to stay loose. They only been on the field for 6 plays this third quarter. I think they're going to have trouble getting back in there and getting sync. Steve?
Yeah, you can see him running around behind you, Gary, trying to stay loose and doing it together as well. That's a good point. May looking for the shovel pass, and now he's going to throw it into the ground. Oh, yeah. And a flag comes out immediately as intentional grounding. Jason Pesterfield, number 57, was again in there with pressure, and I think disrupted that play.
Sure, Pesterfield read this, but look how he comes through, number 57. Now, maybe that's a great thing. It doesn't get rid of the football. Maybe he should have, because it would have been incomplete right there. As he rolls to the right, there's no receiver anywhere nearby.
Pesterfield just knocked J.J. John Smith right on his rear. So Bill Snyder looks on in disgust almost as this penalty moves them even deeper. Now, after they had gotten themselves a little bit of room, they're right back under the goalpost again.
And keep in mind, that's a loss of down, too, so it's not as if it's second and long again. Look at Pesterfield just leveled J.J. Smith. He's looking at his quarterback for the football, and all of a sudden, Pesterfield just knocks him down. And look at May reverse, get out of there. Pesterfield making his presence felt here for the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
So now it's 3rd and 28 from the 6. May fires on the run, incomplete, intended for Mitch Running, but thrown behind it. Kevin Lockett may have been open on the left side, but with May running so hard to the right, I don't think he could see Kevin Lockett over there.
No, he did. Keep in mind, this play's wrought with danger. If you hold in the end zone, it's a safety. If you ground the football in the end zone, it's a safety. And if you throw the football across the field like this, I'll tell you, you keep doing this kind of stuff, and you're going to get one picked off, go the other way for you. I think he may have been throwing that ball away more than anything else.
Eric Hardy now will do the punting, a senior from Kansas City, Kansas. Nebraska with no pressure. They want to return. But a fair catch called by Tyrone Williams at the Kansas State 46.
And a much better punt into the wind. 16 yards the last time, 41 yards this time. So that is one of the bigger plays we've seen from the Kansas State offense in this third quarter.
Well, Scott Collins is primarily a place kicker, and he has been used as a punter. Hardy, the regular punter, came in this time. He's averaging almost 40 yards a punt. Kansas has scored against Iowa State to break that tie. Berringer back in at quarterback for Nebraska. And Lawrence Phillips is the I-back on 1st and 10 at the 46. Phillips. Banging it out for a good gain. Steve Hanks, the strong safety, number 28, made the tackle.
Good blocking up front. This Nebraska team, Gary Reason's talked about them wanting to get after it, run the football. They pride themselves in being able to control the football game. And I talked to some of the offensive linemen yesterday. They said they want to win that rushing title this year. It means an awful lot to them. They came into this game with a 100-yard lead over Wisconsin. That's going to be diminished when this game is over.
The fullback Corey Schlesinger grabs the football. Kansas State has recovered.
I think Chris Canty got down in there playing off a block. Got his hands on the football.
A huge turnover late in the third quarter as Schlesinger was breaking off a big run, and the ball just came out.
Yeah, good blocking up front, and we've seen that opening right in that crease a lot today. The ball gets stripped out of there by number 43, Deshaun Fogler, and there's Chris Canty. 17 playing off his block, gets down, recovers the fumble, so this is a critical turnover, the first one today for Nebraska.
Kansas State with the ball at their own 33, and a break down in the backfield, and J.J. Smith with no hope. Chad May was looking to pitch to somebody, probably Smith the ball. Ryan Terwilliger, number 91, got a free shot at J.J.
Now look at this. This is what Chad May says. Hey, you're supposed to be there for the pitch. I'm not getting hit. You take the football, and you get hit. See if you ever go the wrong way again. On a pitch play, Chad Smith. Chad May to J.J. Smith. Smith's supposed to carry the football and winds up being a reluctant receiver.
So another mistake and a loss. Back to the 27. Second down, 16 yards to go. May with a quick shot to Brown. Ron Brown hauled down at the 35. Troy Dumas hit him, and then Eric Stokes, number 16, right down. Dumas with good coverage.
With a simple, quick screen, get the ball out to Ron Brown. He does possess very good speed. Ron Brown should be in the middle here. Yeah, number 3. There he is. He gets a good time block by Lockett, who knocks down his defender. And he's able to sprint through and get some yards.
It is 3rd and 7, however, for Kansas State at their own 35. May firing incomplete, and again it was Barron Miles who timed it perfectly and came in front of Kevin Lockett to knock the ball away.
Excellent coverage. Right side here, Scray. Look at Barron Miles come back to the football. Lockett should be coming down back to the football, but he doesn't because he is not close to the first down marker. He didn't want to lose any more yardage. Miles came back, and as he's come up big this afternoon, making a lot of good defensive plays.
So Eric Hardy again on the punt. And he drives it into the wind. Kareem Moss, and a penalty flag down again as Moss gets out to about the 34. Deshaun Vogel, number 43, on the tackle. That was a 33-yard line drive punt, but yet another penalty. They're signaling toward Nebraska. And more often than not, it is on the receiving team. Well, that adds to the punt yardage, that's for sure.
Yeah, Brian Schuster, number 28. Watch 28 come in and push on Vogler and back. That little push, once again, not a lot to it. Vogler's still on the play, but that's what was called. That's pushing it back.
Brook Berringer back in at quarterback. The final 26 seconds. And Berringer running the option, scampering out of bounds and close to a first down. Steve Hanks, 28, the strong safety, ran him out. Berringer has deceptive speed, I guess is the best way to talk about it. But a guy who's 6'4", doesn't look like he's covering that much ground, but with those long legs, he can.
Yeah, he does. Because he's 6'4", I mean, he can accelerate forward when he lacks that lateral speed that Matt Turman gives this offense. But once he accelerates upfield, you got an idea of what a good athlete he is.
They're measuring, as you can see, and here's a team averaging over 400 yards a game rushing. They just now have gone over the 100-yard mark for this game as we near the end of the third quarter. Well, see that guy with the black all over his face? He's given a new meaning to the eye black as he puts it all over his face. This is the Piranha Man.
Carl, that's the Piranha who passed away. Here's his mohawk.
And this is a new dude for Eckler.
I should mention that the reason that Piranha was stuck mounted over his locker that passed away this year really brought this whole football team down. They've been mourning for quite a long time. His roommate caught it in the net as they were trying to move out of their apartment, and Carl passed away.
Mike Eckler, the captain of the special teams, is a special guy, that's for sure. Jim Nekovica is in the game at fullback for Nebraska, number 22, but it's Lawrence Phillips on the handoff. And Phillips has the first down on 2nd and inches as he punches it out near the 38. The first down stops the clock. Steve Hanks, 28 on the tackle. 16 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And as soon as it changes, our set, they'll start it and it starts again. Doubt it that Nebraska will get another play off here before the end of the third quarter. The Cornhuskers will have the ball, but they will be going into the wind in the fourth quarter. That is the end of the third. Still a one-point game. We'll return with more action after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Get ready for the season with Fall Car Care Days at Napa, where you'll find quality Napa parts at low prices. Right now, Napa halogen headlights are as low as $4.99. Champion resistor spark plugs are only 69 cents after mail-in rebate. And assorted Napa Car Care products are just $1.29 each. So pull into your nearest Napa Auto Parts store soon for Fall Car Care Days.
We keep a man running. We keep a man running.
Do you know what Hitachi makes? Ready? Go. Does Hitachi make camcorders, barcode readers, hydroelectric power equipment, clown noses, power tools, TVs, MRI systems, VDs, oscilloscopes, micromotors, mass transit trains, antidepressants, PBX phone systems, catnip, semiconductors, lots of products, over 20,000. Yeah, but who's counting?
Sunday, Dallas Cowboy Rodney Peete will ask Holly Robinson to marry him. I love you with all my heart. All new surprise proposals. Will you marry me? Sunday here on ABC.
Take a look at the all-new Ford Windstar and discover all kinds of advantages over Dodge Grand Caravan, like more passenger and cargo room. Advantage Windstar. Free 24-hour roadside assistance. Advantage Windstar. Standard safety features that already meet 1998 guidelines, including dual airbags, four-wheel anti-lock brakes, and 5-mile-per-hour bumpers. Advantage Windstar. Don't just take our word for it. Take a test drive and see for yourself. Ford gives you every advantage. Windstar. The future of minivans is here today at your local Ford dealer.
10 years ago, Balin Manufacturing was on the brink of failure. But today, it's an American success story, thanks in part to economic development loans Bob Carey helped provide.
We are evidence that Bob Carey understands business. Bob went the extra mile and he cut through red tape and helped us take the first step to improving our productivity and grow the business. I am a Republican, and it's well known that I'm a Republican, but Bob Carey has been good for Nebraska.
Soggy Manhattan, Kansas for the final 15 minutes of what has been an outstanding football game. Steve Zabriskie along with John Spagnola and Gary Reasons. It is 1st and 10, Nebraska at their own 39. They lead Kansas State by 1 point as we start the fourth. Lawrence Phillips banging forward for about 3 or 4. 92, Jim Colston on the tackle.
And into the third quarter, the third quarter stats, total yards. Kansas State 237, 128, no surprise in how they got there. Rushing dominates for Nebraska, although they're way under what they average. Kansas State throwing for 219, and the turnovers are even now at 1 each on the fumble by Schlesinger there at the end of the third quarter.
Second down, about 6 to go. McCormick, the fullback, for a short game. Got about half of a needed yardage out across the 46. Ray Eagle, number 98, into the game as defensive tackle, made the stop. Eagle, a junior out of Florence, South Carolina. And now Iowa State has come back and tied Kansas. It's 14-0 in that game in the second quarter. Corey Schlesinger, number 40, back in at fullback. On 3rd down and 2. Lawrence Phillips, close, and maybe the second effort will get it for him. He needed to get across the 49. Chuck Marlowe, as he's done so well today, came up to make the hit. And Laird Beach, number 54, was also in there.
He had a good sense of the balance of Lawrence Phillips. They run over that right guard and tackle spot, but watch Phillips come through. He's met by Marlowe right here. Look at his balance. As he's able to regather his feet and stretch out. And he got the first down on that second effort.
Only 120 yards so far today for Nebraska's rushing offense. The best in the country at 430 coming in.
And they may look at the quality of rushes. If they're able to put a drive together here, the quality of the rushes in the rest of this football game that could decide this game.
Berringer trying to run an option pass. Gets it away, but it's well overthrown. He had a couple of players down there in ball, number 7 and 88, the tight end, Eric Alford. But Niall Wyron, number 44, was all over. I'll tell you what, Kansas State's defense is proving to be for real. Their statistics coming in were outstanding. They were 6th in the country. They were 3rd in the nation in scoring defense, allowing only 9 points a game. They've only given up 7 to Nebraska so far today.
Yeah, but up until now, you had to worry about the quality of their opponents. Southwest Louisiana, Rice, Minnesota. And there's Jim Levy, who's the defensive coordinator down on the football field. Jim Levitt, I'm sorry.
Second down, about 10, and Lawrence Phillips has a big hole down to the Kansas State 40. That's another first down. Deshaun Fogle and Chuck Marlowe make the stop.
Now the backside guard and tackle pull here, Joe Wolf, 76, and Zadesky come around, open a hole. You know, they're sort of overlooking this offensive scheme. There's Zadesky right there, 56, making a nice block. You know, he's one of only 19 graduates in all of Nebraska University who graduated with a 4.0 average last spring.
That's great. Phillips has the ball again. He now has about 85 yards rushing on the day, stopped immediately by Purcell Gaskins, number 9, and 54 Laird Beach. This is where this big, talented offensive line of the Cornhuskers and Lawrence Phillips' running ability can really make the difference in the fourth quarter.
Yes, he can. That's that offensive line, you know, guys you don't hear about too much on the other side, but they know this is a veteran group, 4 seniors, 1 junior. They've been in a lot of battles, and they know how to win football games. Very successful group up front, and they block so well together. It's amazing to watch the intricacies of their offensive running game. Berringer calls the timeout.
We have just over 12 minutes remaining in the game, and we'll be back.
These days, anyone can design and build a car with the quality and features you want. And the safety you need. That's easy. We designed and built the all-new 1995 Luna. So most people can afford it. And that's what makes the new Luna a genuine Chevrolet.
Call for a large 2-topping crunchy thin crust pizza and get a medium 1-topping pizza free.
Yeah.
Todd and Celia Unger aren't overly concerned with how to chart a course for their retirement. That's because they work with a broker from Dean Witter.
We measure success one investor at a time.
You've got customers who demand, information to command, and competition to withstand. So how's your business to expand?
Here's how. Sprint Business introduces Real Solutions, a top-to-bottom action plan that shows where your business stands versus the competition and offers communication solutions to help your business grow. And it's all free. Call now for Real Solutions, 1-800-816-REAL, only from Sprint Business.
It's a key Big Ten battle when Penn State invades Michigan for a conference showdown with the Wolverines. It's part of a special doubleheader next on ABC's College Football.
And a reminder, if there's some time before that big game, coming up next will be the 50 Car Rental post-game report featuring scores and highlights from around the country. If time permits, the 50 Car Rental report will be next. 2nd and 10. Nebraska at the Kansas State 40, leading by 1 point here in the fourth quarter. Lawrence Phillips, the workhorse again. Big hole, big game. Dragged down inside the 25, and flags fly as Steve Hanks, the strong safety, may have gotten a hold of Lawrence Phillips' face mask after a gain of 17.
Yeah, I think he had to pull him down. Misdirection play, and they caught Kansas State in a blitz, so there's no secondary support right here. Once Phillips breaks through, he's clear into the secondary. You see that little yank by Hanks on the face mask, just a little bit. It's going to be incidental penalty, 5 yards.
And that is Steve Ott, number 69, who was injured on the play and is being helped off.
On the defense, 5-yard penalty, into the run, it'll be a first down.
That'll take Nebraska deeper into Kansas State territory, and Lawrence Phillips has now gone over the 100-yard mark rushing. All 7 games for Nebraska this year. He now has 101 yards on the ground.
And there it is, just that little grab on the face mask by Hanks is enough to get a penalty. Wisely, he pulled his hand away. So a little bit more than that.
Phillips again, but this time he only gains a couple. And let's get an update from New York and John Saunders.
Steve, Danny Werfel did it last year a couple of times coming off the bench for Terry Dean, trying to do it one more time. Ike Hilliard here doing most of the work. 17 yards. Werfel had 386 yards and 3 touchdowns. A loss against Auburn last year. Right now they're up though, Steve.
Thank you, John. Boy, that's exciting. Now they're back to a 4-point Florida lead. Here it's a 1-point Nebraska lead. You got number 1 Florida, and here you got number 2 Nebraska. This is the 11th play of the Cornhuskers drive. Second down. About 7.5 yards to go, and touchdown, Makovica, the fullback. He got a good block from Mark Gilman, number 87, the tight end, and took it in from 15 yards out to extend Nebraska's lead.
Down to the power line formation. Makovica is the first guy through. He gets a good block from 87. As you said, Mark Gilman, that surprised the Kansas State defense because it happened so quickly. Everything's been going to Lawrence Phillips. They give it to Makovica, the first guy through. And Kansas State, I don't even think half the defenders saw him.
Aaron Erstad left foots it right through there. We have 11 minutes and 1 second remaining in the game, and Jeff Makovica, a junior from Painter, Nebraska, with a big, big play.
Wow. Look at the size of this place. A guy who didn't know what he was doing was sure get himself in a lot of trouble here. But hey, I'm sure you'll pick one out. I mean, how hard can it be? Hey, these guys, they used to make a heck of a movie projector. And anyway, if something does go wrong, I'm sure a handy guy like you can probably just fix it yourself. But as long as you're here, maybe you ought to just look at an IBM.
Think of someplace private, someplace quiet, someplace comfortable, someplace truly your own. Now, think of it moving at 80 feet per second. Introducing the all-new Monte Carlo, a very personal space designed from the inside out around you, the driver. The all-new 1995 Monte Carlo. Genuine Chevrolet.
Joe Montana has not practiced all week. Will he be in there when the Kansas City Chiefs travel to Denver to take on John Elway and the Broncos Monday night? Why don't you tune in and find out? 8 Central, ABC's NFL Monday Night Football this week. The Chiefs and the Broncos.
John Elway's had some success against Marty Schottenheimer over the years, hasn't he? Yes, sir. Schottenheimer coached there at Cleveland and now in Kansas City. He would have a much better record if he didn't have to go against Mr. Elway.
And the Broncos need to get it going. My old partner Wade Phillips they're struggling. Ball taken by Mike Lawrence. And Lawrence looking for a seam and a pretty good return out to about the 28. John Hess, number 44, knocked him down. Let's go back and look at the touchdown. There may have been a penalty that didn't get called.
Look at number 33 right there. Lester Johnson throwing a clip on number 17, Chris Gandy. You know, they've called a lot of penalties in this football game. I think all the referees' attention were focused on the running back, Makovica. Nobody picked that clip up, but that very easily should have been called and brought back 15 yards.
Well, that'll throw a little gasoline on the fire, not that it needs it. Kansas State now with the wind at their back, but trailing by 8 points here in the fourth quarter. May going long for nobody. He had Running breaking out and Brown breaking in, and nobody was in the area. Kansas with a field goal against Iowa State to lead back 3. They're still in the second quarter. Bill Snyder get this offense to click the way it did early in the ball game. They're still going with either the 5 wideouts or 4 wideouts and J.J. Smith on the wing, which is the set they have now on 2nd and 10. A fake. Penalty flag goes down. May gets hit from behind. The ball is on the ground and covered by Kansas State. Dante Jones, number 84, made the hit. Flag that came out.
And Chad May was trying to throw a little hook and go pattern to his receiver. That's why he held the football so long. But Schweiger, now see a little hitch and go.
On the offense, big line, 3rd down.
So Miles does not bite on that hitch and go. And then the pressure comes from behind. He's holding the football way too long. And the pressure came from behind. There it is. Dante Jones knocks the football away. And then there's a mad scramble for the football. As you can see, it looks like Greenwood, 79, came over and scrambled on his hands and knees just to get the football. So almost a disastrous turnover here at Kansas State.
Loss of 10 already, so they didn't need to take the penalty. It is 3rd and 20. May going long for Lockett, who gets tripped up and goes down. The flag will come out.
No, that's going to get called off. The side judge is going to overrule the field judge, or they're having a discussion about it.
Tyrone Williams was irate, as you can see, and Miles went over to make sure he didn't get a penalty because of his complaining.
Right, the field judge wanted to call a penalty. The side judge saying, hey, they both have a right to this football.
Well, here's another key. Was the ball catchable?
Yeah, but see, there's Tyrone Williams in his defense. He's looking up at the football. He can make a play on the football. There's the ball in the air, and then, of course, the ball, I think, would have been catchable by Lockett, but the side judge overruled the field judge there and said, Williams is going for the football. He did not trip him on purpose.
Incidental contact. Lockett already down by the time the ball gets there.
I think Lockett had a good shot at the football. He had not been tripped, but Williams was in very good coverage.
Eric Hardy on the punt on 4th down and 20.
Oh, he uses the wind on this punt.
Oh, what a boomer. Tyrone Williams finally picks it up at about the 24. And he'll get back maybe to the 28. The ball stripped away, but whistles had blown the play dead. A 52-yard punt by Eric Hardy.
I take it ready to strap it on. We got an exciting number 10 minutes left of this football game.
And who's in there making the hit? Mike Eckler, kamikaze man.
What a great punt. I mean, the wind behind the punter. Williams picks the ball up. He's been involved in the last 2 plays. Williams gets up, gets hit. Eckler in there knocking him around, and then they strip that football out. But again, his forward momentum, that stuff.
Well, we got about a little less than 10 minutes to go. It ought to be interesting. Don't go away.
At Chevrolet, we feel everyone, regardless of income, deserves a safe car. That's why we equipped the all-new Lumina LS with dual airbags, anti-lock brakes, side guard door beams, child security rear door locks. Sure, anyone can build a car like this. That's easy. We build it so most people can afford it. That's genuine Chevrolet.
Since the introduction of Visa Rewards, everyone wants to use their Visa card, because now 10% of all your purchases automatically goes towards savings on American Airlines Flyaway Vacations, Carnival and Holland America Cruise Lines, and Marriott Hotels, Resorts, and Suites.
Look at yourselves! You're acting like a bunch of kids! Besides, I sold those.
Visa Rewards. Now your Visa card's even more rewarding.
Hey,
PageNet, America's #1 wireless messaging company, is proud to sponsor the 125th anniversary of college football. Since the days of leather caps and broken teeth, the game has come a long way. But it's still a game of contact. And who knows more about contact than PageNet, the company that keeps more people in close contact nationwide.
Mike Eckler, who looks like he has the eye black concession, has got it all over his face, even the vacated scalp area where he's gone to the mohawk. And he was in on that last play, but Nebraska has the lead in the football, and Brook Berringer is in there, quarterback with the power eye set behind him. Makovica, the fullback, banging forward for just a couple. Let's get another update from John Saunders on the Florida-Auburn game. Come.
Steve, whoever touches the ball last wins this game. We've decided Auburn and Florida. Patrick Hicks. This is on 3rd and 9. They're just looking for the first down. But Andy Fuller fights his way out of a couple of tackles, and Auburn leads 29-26. Steve.
Maybe. I'll tell you what, John, that's going to be some finish there. We might have a similar finish here. Nebraska with the lead and the ball. 9:15 to play. Lawrence Phillips. A few more yards. Kelly Green, number 91, dragged him down as he went by. Auburn, Florida, about 6 minutes left to play, and here we have 9 left on the clock.
And this is where the Kansas State defense has to come up big. They got to get the football back. They can't allow Nebraska to convert this first down. On 3rd down, a little more than 5 yards. They've got to make a play here to get the ball back in the hands of Chad May with the win behind him, trailing by 8 points. Comes down to a 2-point conversion to tie this football game.
On 3rd down, Berringer looking incomplete, almost intercepted. It was intended for Eric Alford, the tight end, and then Joe Gordon reached back and almost came up with it, but couldn't quite get enough hand on it.
You know what? He threw that ball to Eric Alford. Alford was not open. There was a tight end wide open. I believe it was Gilman, 87. Look at the left side of your screen. There it is. On the right side of your screen, you see Gilman go up for the ball. Keep following it. Keep following. You'll see a receiver who was wide open initially. Right there. That receiver was wide open the whole time. All Berringer had to do was just flip the ball out to him, and he had a first down.
Mitch Running awaits Darren Erstad's punt, running standing in his own 30. And pressure, no flag as Erstad got it away. It's going to be touched at the 40 of Kansas State, and the Jayhawks will have the wind and good field position here in the 4th, trailing by 8. CFA College Football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Chevrolet. The cars and trucks 36 million people depend on every day. Genuine Chevrolet. By State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. Napa Auto Parts, we keep America running. And Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. Chad May will try to get it going. In the second half, May has completed only 6 of 19 passes for 46 yards. After a strong first half, 6 of 19 here in the second half. J.J. Smith trying to find some running room. And a fine play by Dwayne Harris to come back and knock him down.
Yeah, Dwayne Harris, you know, this guy, believe it or not, look at the arms on him. He has a 7-foot wingspan. J.J. Smith takes it to the left, breaks it back around. Now Harris almost pops the ball loose with his tackle. Look at the arms on this guy. They said when he was lining up initially in a 2-point stance, he'd be offside. With his arms were always hanging over the line of scrimmage.
A gain of 2 for Smith in 2nd and 8. Incomplete. Intended for Mitch Running. Let's go back to John Saunders for yet another update.
Steve, here we go again. This time it's Florida. Danny Werfel, who is 10 of 11 for 171 yards coming into the game, while Jack Jackson, 24th career touchdown, ties a school record. 33-29. Florida has the lead, Steve.
I'll tell you what, the one thing I think Florida has the advantage, they're on the 4-point side of the 7-point spread. That's true. They got the 4-point lead when they're ahead.
Because Berrier's never lost at home, and I got a feeling we'll hear more John Saunders before the end of this football game.
Incomplete, intended for Schweiger, who could not hold on 3rd down and 9. Troy Dumas had the coverage, but Kansas State's leading receiver Tyson Schweiger could not hang on to it.
Tyson Schweiger comes from the left side. It's a good pattern run right across. There's no safeties there in the middle. And as he tries to bring the football down, he just backs it away. He's got to take his hands and give a little bit. Instead, his hands were going toward the football as he lost his balance. That's what added it away, excuse me.
Pardon me, John. Eric Hardy on the punt. And he's playing with the wind again. Tyrone Williams with a fair catch, drops it, but covers it at the 20. Hey, a reminder, coming up next here on ABC, Game 2 of our doubleheader. And you're in for some more excitement. Penn State at Michigan. Keith Jackson and Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan be there to call it for you out of the real big house. That big 106,000-seat place in Ann Arbor. Penn State, Michigan coming up next here on ABC.
Penn State's used to playing in front of big crowds at home. They average about 95 or 96,000 at home. I think Michigan is first, Tennessee is second in home attendance, and Penn State is third, but they're not used to playing in front of that many people with a group against them.
And they will be rooting against them. Berringer back in there at quarterback. Michael Vick at fullback, and Phillips behind him. Lawrence Phillips on 1st down has about 6 to the 26. And again, Chuck Marlowe, the free safety, 21. Made the stop. Kansas has extended their lead over Iowa State to 10, still in the second quarter.
Well, you know, last time Nebraska had the football, they struggled on 1st and 2nd down. Wound up with a 3rd and long and didn't quite convert. Here they get some good yardage, positive yardage on 1st down, and I expect fully there were people football on the ground here trying to round it out. With that time on the clock, as long as they can convert these 1st downs. Berringer again a little confused about what he wanted to do. Calls timeout.
Well, that means that each team has just one timeout remaining. 6:45 left to play.
When young policyholders come to me, I look at them and think, boy, that was me 15 years ago. I remember very well how quickly things changed for Debbie and me. Marriage, children, our first house. It's exactly why State Farm's family insurance checkups are such a good idea. Your agent helps you put it all in perspective so you can make the right decisions. The way you were 5 years ago is not the way you are today. It's comforting to me when I can say to my policyholders, hey, I've been there.
State Farm is there.
You think aftershaves have to hurt to work? Put yours here. Since they're full spice, here. This doesn't take the sting out of aftershave. Call and they'll buy you a bottle of yours. Come on, take this instant challenge. I did.
The temperature never drops below 0. That's very important to remember, especially in a time like this, when it's very deserted and very cold. Do remember Xerox Antifreeze. The temperature never drops below 0. Some things in life you have to wait for. A car of your dreams should be one of them. The Chevy Camaro. Airbags, injected V6, anti-lock brakes. It's $14,750 worth of genuine Chevrolet.
Nebraska with the lead and the ball. But Brook Berringer had to call timeout on 2nd down and 4. The ball at the Nebraska 26. As they were confused, I don't know whether it was their own confusion or something Kansas State showed on defense. Makovica, the fullback, breaks through and has the 1st down with good second effort. He ran right into the arms of Steve Hanks, the strong safety, number 28, but was able to get around him for enough yardage to pick up the 1st.
Makovica with a powerful run, but a good hesitation. Watch how the whole defense for Kansas State gets going left. Follow that option. He cuts it back. And the other guy left is Steve Hanks. You know, that's what they're trying to do defensively. When we talked to Bob Stoops and Jim Levin, you know, they said we got to stay in our lanes defensively, stay on an edge, keep our gap responsibilities there, the backside, over pursued, and smartly McAfee cut it back and got the first down.
Play action and Berringer wrapped up by Green. Kelly Green, at 270 pounds, has made some big plays today. It may have been a little breakdown in the backfield as it didn't come off cleanly, and it may have also been caused by good penetration by Kansas State.
I see Green, 95 took on the right side of the screen. That seemed, you know, the tight end was coming around. You saw him flash. It looked like there was going to be some sort of tight end around or whatever else in that play, but Nebraska had no chance to even begin to execute that play. As Green penetrated and stopped everything.
Loss of 4, second down, 14. Berringer on the option pass, lofting it long for Muhammad inside the 40 of Kansas State. Joel Gordon makes the tackle on Abdul Muhammad, but not before he gains 34 yards.
Great call by Tom Osborne. You know, Nebraska wants to run the football here. Berringer using his height, gets everybody thinking run again, and he isolates Muhammad one-on-one. Muhammad breaks down and actually had Reggie Ball 7 not been so deep downfield. His defender came and made the tackle. The guy covering Ball made the tackle. Joe Gordon, otherwise, Muhammad may have gone all the way.
Coach picking his way at about the 35. Purcell Gaskins, number 9, and Keith Porter, who's in it, defensive back, number 27, makes the stop.
You got a team so worried about stopping the run, though. Those kind of pass plays are wide open. I mean, Muhammad was left completely untouched down there.
They run a couple of minutes off the clock here in pretty short order.
And Levitt's working himself into a frenzy on the sidelines, trying to get his defense to come up with a stand.
Second down, about 8. Makovica, the fullback, breaks one tackle, has the first down, and rumbles to the 21. Another big gain, a 14-yard run. Gordon and Chris Canby making a stop in the secondary.
Yeah, but that's what Nebraska wants to do. They can move you so many different directions. Watch how the defense again over pursues to the right side. Makovica cuts back underneath. That over pursuing defense, and Nebraska can wear you down. They get you tired. They're like a boxer with just jabs and jabs and jabs, and then finally they can throw a knockout punch with their running game.
Phillips gets away from Gaskins and gets a couple of yards. Tripped up at about the 18 by Tim Colston, number 92.
This Purcell Gaskins is probably the best defensive player on this football field. Great athlete. And he gets to try and get the tackle on Phillips, but Phillips so elusive, cutting underneath. Phillips taking a little bit of a break on the sideline. Looks like that thumb held up okay here in the second half. 31 rushes for 18 yards.
21, Damon Berring is in the I-back position. But it's Makovica again, and again he breaks a tackle. Inside the 10 and down near the 7. Knocked down by the free safety, Chuck Marlowe. What a day for Jeff Makovica, who's had some not only big runs, but they've come at extremely key times.
About 66 on the left side of center. As Brandon Stight comes around on a trap play, comes around, blocks his man, and Makovica in the open field has been like a raging bull here, knocking people over, spinning, churning his legs, getting every additional yard he can.
He's carried 6 times for 54 yards. Lawrence Schlesinger, number 40 now in the fullback. Berring spinning out of there, but Marlowe won't let him get away. Finally, he gets some help from Deshaun Fogle. David Benning, a sophomore out of Omaha. And Lawrence Phillips will come back in. Ohio State, big over Michigan State. Look at that one. 33 all in the fourth quarter.
Good start by the Kansas State.
Georgia losing to Vanderbilt.
There's another offense wants to throw the football in.
Play action. Berringer looking in the end zone. Incomplete. What a play on Alford by Chuck Marlowe, who's had an outstanding day in the secondary.
Yeah, Nebraska brought two tight ends. One tight end on the one side went to the flat, and the other one, Eric Alford, 88. You see him come across here, but that's a great play by Chuck Marlowe. He cuts underneath, and the ball be thrown out or above, over the top of Alford. Uses his height, but you see how he slowed down a little bit to catch the football, and that allowed Marlowe to catch up and bat that ball away. Right now, Nebraska's got to be thinking field position. I mean, you know, if they get 3 points here, it makes it that much more difficult here for Kansas State to come back. Of course, a touchdown, 2-point conversion. They tie it right now, but if Nebraska tacks on 3 more, it's going to be awfully tough for the Wildcats to come back in this game.
Deshaun Vogel is shaken up on the play. It's an official's timeout. Vogel being helped off the field to the far side. So each team still has 1 timeout remaining. And the clock now with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to play in the game. Third and goal for the Cornhuskers. Makovica. A half a yard, maybe. Kelly Green, 91, and 94, Dirk Holmes.
Yeah, but more importantly, look where they ran the football. Left side, right to the middle of the field. Makovica could not place that thing down more in the middle field if he had tried running the football right there. And this guy stepped up big in the second half and really provided a boost to this Nebraska offense. The ball dead in the middle of the field. Look at that.
A 24-yard field goal attempt by Hurstead. And it's right through the middle. 1:32 left. It's 17-6. Nebraska and the Cornhuskers have had it tough today, but they are in command now. They did not get 50 yards rushing in any of the three previous quarters, and they've gone over 100 yards rushing here in the fourth quarter now.
And that is the essence of the Nebraska offense. I mean, they're going to pound you, they're going to move you around. And although Kansas State came up very big and played very well against the run here, I mean, it's just been too much for them to ask repeatedly throughout this game to shut down Kansas. Let's shut down Nebraska. Yeah, when you send the ball in the middle of the field, there's nothing more than just a little additional yardage to an extra point. The ball's right through the middle. Now, I think those are the little things that Tom Osborne gives you as a coach. Ball's on the right hash. He's got a left-footed kicker. He got that ball into the middle of the field. Remember that Nebraska missed one earlier with their stat. Not this time, as their stat is true. And even if Kansas State does move the ball here and scores a touchdown, it's going to be the difference in this football game.
Well, the big drive right there, because a 12-play, 73-yard drive that took nearly 6 minutes off the clock is Nebraska's drive in the fourth quarter. That's the difference in this football game.
There's the old Lucy trick right there.
Where is Lucy? She yanked that ball right up front.
Poor Charlie Brown.
Well, I'll tell you what, Lawrence Phillips injured, back in the game. They go to him when they need him. 31 carries today for 118 yards and a touchdown. So that big offensive line and that high back came to the forefront here in the fourth quarter. Hurstead will get some help and try it again. Ron Brown at the 10. Out to about the 30. Return. Well, a genuine Chevrolet, most valuable players of the game. In a game like this, you might expect their both defensive stars. For Nebraska, Baron Miles, who made so many outstanding plays in the secondary. And for Kansas State, safety Chuck Marlowe, who did the same, and also supported on the run against the Nebraska running attack beautifully. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. Chad May goes back to his spread formation from the shotgun on first and 10. Throws a quick out to Schweiger. Out of bounds at the 39, stopping the clock. Baron Miles had the coverage. 1:23 left to play.
Keep in mind, it's not all Kansas State to do. That's, great arm here by May. We've seen that all afternoon, especially with the wind behind him. Schweiger doing a nice job dotting the I with his toes, getting the ball out of bounds. Now, if they can move the ball effectively in front of a 3-man, they'll be able to get some yards and keep that clock from ticking.
May goes this side. Complete. Yes. Lockett held on. But it took him so long to get a hold of it. And Tyrone Williams had time to come up and bulldog him down at the 44. And he stayed in bounds, unfortunately, for Kansas State. It did stop the clock on the first down.
Really good luck. He's got it. He doesn't have it. He does have it. Now he's saying, oh, my God, Williams is going to intercept this thing unless I catch it and get it down. And Williams roughs him up as he tackles.
May, under some pressure, gets it away and completes it again to Lockett. This time at the 44 or 45 of Nebraska.
And Nebraska's more than happy to allow Chad May to complete all the passes he can in front of that zone. Keep in mind, Kansas State goes down and scores here. They only have one more timeout to burn. And that's cost them during this game. They had a lot of confusion earlier in this football game, getting plays called and beating that play clock.
Well, everybody but the center took off, and flags were all over the place.
Good ball foul. Ball start on the offense.
I'll move it back to midfield.
That's one time in college where it does make sense, where you don't have to call a number. It was on the offense. Everybody moved. Everybody moved. Johnson is out.
Already. Johnson just turned around again. Might have been double checking that snap count. Hey, throwing, setting up a screen, and Smith is hammered by Stewart. And Stewart just waiting for J.J. Smith.
Yeah, Stewart was the only guy in position to make that tackle, but you saw his explosion as he made the tackle.
And now Kansas State has used their final timeout with 24 seconds remaining in the game. Nebraska leading 7-6 for most of the afternoon. You see Florida still leading Auburn by 4 in the fourth. With just minutes remaining in that game.
That would be Terry Ballard's first loss ever as an Auburn coach.
Coming up next, Penn State, Michigan. As soon as we're through here, it's up to Ann Arbor. And they'll be knocking heads. A&M with a 3-point lead over Baylor in the Southwestern Conference. The Southwest Conference is hanging in there for about a year or so.
We get a few people here calling the Big 12.
Yep. It's going to be interesting when all of the consolidation is complete. The effect it'll have on postseason, and maybe it'll help us get a true national championship in college football.
Between consolidation and coalition, you might have something a little better than what we have right now anyway.
We only hope.
Nothing short of a playoff is ever going to quite do it.
Nope, you got to do it on the field. 24 seconds to go. Second down. May trying to launch one. And he's got a bunch of guys down there, but it's tipped. And nobody could come up with it. Kevin Lockett went up for it first. But he had Running and Schweiger and Brown all down there. But Nebraska was also equally well represented.
And I think you'll see that play again. This is May's impersonation of Cordell Stewart. Trying to get it tipped. anything just to get the ball in the end zone and try to get an onside kick. See if you can do it all over again. Yeah. That's a lot to ask for 16 seconds.
You're not kidding.
Now you see bodies down. You don't think a lot of teams have a defense this play a lot better since they saw that tape in the Colorado-Michigan game a couple weeks ago.
Heck of a play by Troy Dumas, number 4, who went up and tipped it away. May trying to find time to do it again, but he throws this one away. He had some pressure from Chesterfield and others. Well, the Kansas State program has come so far, has not beaten Nebraska in 25 years. We showed you earlier the 1968 game when Glenn Dickey threw the touchdown pass. Well, I'll tell you what Bill Snyder has done here, it ain't over yet.
Yeah, that's right. You know, last year he was 1-1-1 against the Big Three here in the Big Eight. That's Nebraska, Colorado. They tied Colorado last year, lost to Nebraska, and then they beat Oklahoma. He's got to go to Colorado next week. So they got to gear up after this game to get back into it.
That's right. Penn State, Michigan coming your way next. So stay with us. We're almost done, and we'll send you right up to Ann Arbor quite quickly. Well, they're going to be a delay of game penalty against Kansas State. They did not get it off the field in 25 seconds. That is the 12th penalty of the game against the Wildcats for 101 yards. And that's a factor in the game today as well.
Yeah, they lost some good field position opportunities early in this football game. Some holding calls and some illegal procedure calls. And May is not going to get this football off.
Grant Wisdom with the final sack and putting a little exclamation point on it as well, as Nebraska remains unbeaten and remains the class of the Big Eight. They may, depending on the outcome of the Auburn-Florida game, have an opportunity to be ranked on the Bowl Coalition poll as the #1 team in the country. They're certainly no worse than they came in here at #2. And in fact, they played a good football team today and came back, John, when they had it, the game was on the line to win it.
And I think their defense set up their offense and eventually took control of this football game.
Thanks for being with us. Stay tuned for Penn State, Michigan. Steve Zabriskie for John Spagnola and Gary Wiesens. So long from Manhattan, Kansas.
This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
A promotional fee has been paid by Northwest Airlines.
Some people just know how to fly.
Silhouette's a new beginning.
A deal they said would never happen.
Kelly, a cop under siege.
I can't do my job unless my word is good on the street. Maybe there's a message in that.
The Kelsey, a day of reckoning.
In a single and unthinking moment, she reacted.
A stunning new episode you won't want to miss.
Will the defendant please rise?
NYPD Blue, Tuesday. Viewer discretion advised.
In Nebraska, life is different. Government that governs least governs best. We don't need a state bureaucracy to tell us what to do and how to live. What we need is a governor who will do two things: lead our state and contain our government. It's an ethic of freedom, of prosperity, of our history. Ben Nelson doesn't know what's going on in his own administration. You do, and you know it's got to change. I'll lead this state.
Get 2 great Lazy Boy recliners, one low price. That's right, get 2 genuine Lazy Boy recliners for a limited time at one low price. This tufted back style 2 for $3.99. This pump back style 2 for just $4.99. This Lazy Boy recliner with full body comfort 2 for just $5.99. A best-selling Lazy Boy chaise recliner 2 for just $6.99. So shop the other stores and the other brands first, and then let Robertson show you the noticeable difference. You'll see why Robertsons and Lazy Boy really are the competition.
You want the most for your dollar, and at Kearney Tire and Auto Service, we want to give you the most. This fall, let KTA help you hit the off-road with new treads for your truck and new treads for your feet. Right now at KTA, when you buy 4 BF Goodrich TA light truck tires, you'll get a pair of Timberline Euro Hiker boots free. Choose from mud terrain, all-terrain, or trail TAs designed to match your driving needs. Now through October 30.
Celebrating 15 years of excellence, we're Kearney Tire and Auto Service, 11th and Central, Kearney.
You're watching the Nebraska Television Network.
Once again, those of you just watching Nebraska beat Kansas State. Nebraska may be the new #1 team in the nation if this score holds up. Auburn has just taken the lead over Florida 36-33. We'll bring you that highlight in just a moment, but right now let's join Keith Jackson and Bob Greasy.
The second play of the ball game, the Penn State 50 lines picking up just over 10 yards on the first play of pass. And Harry Collins will give it this time to Carter. The runner runs it up the middle, pops it to the outside. He has great speed. He needs a little help on the corner. He takes it to midfield, and it's a first down. High Law stayed with him and made the play for Michigan defensively. But one thing you've got to look out for, Penn State's opening possession of the ball game, they will get after you quickly. And if you're not careful with them, then you'll be 21 points down. Very explosive offense. Mike Archie checks into the backfield now for Penn State. With Mills staying in at the fullback position, and Freddie Scott, 31, is a wideout. Bobby Ingram is the other speed burner, number 10. Archie is a good pass receiver, and Mills being a slashing burner of a runner. Cuts it back into the middle and picks up about 8 yards off the carry. The offensive front for Penn State is led on the strong side by Hardings and Tomlin. They line up with the tight end Kyle Brady, and that is a formidable threesome to run behind. So we're seeing a typical Penn State start, Bob.
Yes, I'll have a comment about that after this play.
Second down and 2. Pass is overthrown, out of bounds, incomplete.
Keith, their first 25 plays are scripted. That means they have their best plays on their first drive, and the players are confident because they've been working on them all week. That's why they score so well on the first drive of the ball game.
Joe Paterno, of course, the Dean. He is the winningest active coach in Division I football, 45 years. He's been on the Penn State campus, 29th season as a head coach. He worked for Rip Engel when he first came to Penn State. Third down and 2 for the Lions. Pressure comes. Harry Collins pass. Drilled and completed to Bobby Ingram at the Michigan 33 and a first down. The Michigan defense lines up this way with Trevor Price and Matt Dyson, the outside people, the outside linebackers, or if you go defensive ends, and they are the ones that are really going to get the pressure today from the Penn State running attack. In the secondary, Deion Johnson was the man defending on that last pass play, and Kerry Collins drilled it right into Ingram's numbers. John Carter is the deep back now. He has the ball. Away, gets across the 30 to the 29. Picked up about 4 yards on the carry. Just getting underway, first quarter of play. Some of the brightness of the sun diminished by clouds beginning to gather, but it will be dry all day, though a little breezy. That might impact the kicking game before the day is done. Second down, call it 6. This is Mills, the big fullback, 253 pounds, not a speedster by any means. And Matt Dyson leads the Michigan defenders, and they take him down right about the line of scrimmage.
One of the keys for Michigan defensively on the left side of your screen, 91, that's Matt Dyson. He's had an injured foot. In fact, he had a broken bone in the foot. Lloyd Carr, the defensive coordinator, says he's our best defensive lineman. It's a big key for us today. If he can play and play well, you take a look at Carr.
Ball is on the 28-yard line, where it is third down and 5, and John Carter is back at the I-back. Collins swings it out to Carter, catches it, gets the first down. Inside the 20, down to the 15-yard line. First down, Penn State.
Good call, good play, good execution. Kerry Collins applauding. You
the ball on a little swing out to an explosive runner like Carter, and good things are going to happen. Van Ganner, the offensive coordinator, calling the plays for the Lions. Take a look at Penny.
It is first down for Penn State at the Michigan 15-yard line. Carter and Mills in the backfield. Out of the eye, they work now with Buddy Scott going in motion. Collins to Carter. He goes to the 12 to pick up about 3 yards. And folks, here's some news. We get it from John Saunders. It looked like the Auburn Tigers were done. They started at their own 45 with a minute 20 left. But here, 8 yards out, Patrick Nix to Frank Sanders, his third touchdown pass of the day, and the Tigers win it 36-33, Keith. And they retain the longest winning streak in the country. It is now 18.
You just can't win turning the ball over 6 or 7 times like the Gators did.
Harry Collins to the end zone. It is incomplete and almost intercepted. There were 2 Michigan defenders on Bobby Ingram. Deion Johnson, number 28, is the man who almost came away with it. He and Chuck Winters were both back there.
Well, you call it, Keith. Here are the 2 men that are going to be guarding. He's just going to go down and break to the outside. The plan for Michigan is to double Ingram. They have a lot of respect for Bobby Ingram. You see the double coverage inside and out. The back line of the end zone is an added defender, and Johnson just can't come down with the ball. Ingram did a nice job of breaking it up.
It is third down and 7 from the 12 for Penn State. Mike Archie in the middle. And he is taken down at the 7-yard line. He'll be 2.5 yards short of his first down. The play has been called. Joe Paterno facing the sideline. It's 4th down. Here's your kicking team on the field for Penn State. Brett Conway, a sophomore from Lilburn, Georgia. Philip Collins holds it. Brad Panthro snaps it. 24-yard try. And it's good. And so Penn State, in its opening possession, starts at the 20-yard line and goes down to the 12, where they settle for a 3-0 lead.
Penn State has outscored opponents 89-12 in the first quarter. They have been devastating starting out a ball game. Michigan knew that coming in, and just their chance to move the ball down and get something on the board.
Penn State had 12 plays in that possession. They had a general mixture of things out of the offensive back and the kind of thing you'll be seeing all day. But as both coaches have said all through the week, that it might very well go down to the last possession. Close to 107,000 more as Michigan comes out onto the field. And Penn State will kick off after driving from the 20 down to the 12 and settling for the 24-yard field goal from Conway to lead it 3-0. It will be Seth Smith and Damani Toomer, the deep people for Michigan. Smith is 86, Toomer 18. They're both wide receivers. Brett Conway will kick off into the wind. It'll be interesting to see what impact the wind might have on this kick if he gets it up. It's not a big wind, but it will cause some swirling here, and undoubtedly it will impact much for these kind of things.
So what Penn State did into that wind, 6 runs, 5 passes.
Yep. From the 4-yard line, it's Seth Smith. Penalty flag for 5, and Smith is buried short of the 10-yard line. You can't hesitate when the headhunters are coming, and they got him quickly. Here's Tom Quinn, the referee, to define the first penalty flag of the day.
It's against Michigan. And so the Wolverines are going to start in tough country behind Todd Collins, 6'5", 216-pound senior out of Walthall, Massachusetts. And his numbers are not far off those of his counterpart, Terry Collins at Penn State. They are remarkably alike, both standing 6'5". Todd is not quite as big as Terry. He gives away about 20 pounds in that matchup.
Both are underappreciated. As I mentioned, they are 1-2 in the Big Ten standings as far as quarterback efficiency is concerned. Both accurate passers.
Tyrone Wheatley and Jake Husker will open the backfield for Michigan. They are both standing in the end zone as the Wolverines will snap it from their own 4-yard line. Penn State with a 3-0 lead on the first possession. Todd Collins' first pass is completed to Trumer. And Ramani Trumer runs across the 20 and clears the 25. And Michigan has some daylight. There's what we mean when we say there's remarkable similarity between these two, not only physically, but what they have done on the field.
29 touchdowns apiece. That time, Michigan opening up, throwing it out to Toomer. One-on-one on Pittman, and he made a move on the big game. Got him out of the hole.
The outside ball to defensive change. Michigan sends Smith in motion. And Collins knocks it off. Here comes Seth Smith, the freshman from Carbondale, Illinois, out to the 34-yard line. He picked up a little over 8 off the carry. Here are the rest of the people in the offense for Michigan now. Wheatley is the obvious man. The celebrated tailback just now rounding into form after a separated shoulder. Trumer Hayes and a former quarterback, Reamer Spy is the tight end and a very good receiver.
Gary Muller's calling the plays, coming out throwing on the first 2 plays for Michigan. I think it's a good move. Loosen up that defense. Go to your strength with Collins.
Second down and 2. They again go to Trumer. The Penn State defender slipped and fell. And Ramani Trumer turns in another big play. Pittman slipped and went down to his knees. That left Trumer all alone. And Ramani Trumer is too good of an athlete. He'll stick it in the end zone on him.
Trumer is 6'4". Pittman is 5'8". Looks a move. The last time he went outside, same route. This time he faked outside and went inside. Had some easy completions for the Wolverines, who have yet to throw, or yet to run. All 3 have been passes.
And they have it first down at the Penn State 42-yard line. Kim Herring has checked in with the defensive secondary now for Penn State, replacing Cliff Dingle, who's working with a sore knee. Contact before the snap.